million clients just like you reach their home financing goals this year alone. So remember this, what can help you buy the home you really want? Rocket can. Go to rocketmortgage.com or call us today at 8338-ROCKET. That's rocketmortgage.com or call 8338-ROCKET.
A verified approval is based on an underwriter's analysis of your individual financial information, appraisal, and title report. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 30 degrees at 9:05. Good morning, I'm Dave Bauer. The Michigan Department of Transportation will close and detour I-75 at M46 in Saginaw County to accommodate bridge demolition of the original M46 overpass. It's part of an overall $61.5 million investment to rebuild 2.4 miles of I-75 from Hess Avenue to I-675, including the I-75 M46 interchange, and replace the M46 bridge over I-75 and the railroad tracks. The closing is scheduled for 9 o'clock tonight, with reopening at 5 a.m. Will be detoured via the ramps at the I-75 M46 interchange. Crews intend to complete all demolition and cleanup tonight, but are planning an additional overnight closure tomorrow if necessary. Crews will resume work on I-75 following the demolition of the remaining M46 structure. Drivers should expect a single-lane closure on I-75 following the bridge removal. As the pandemic has gone on for a year and more people are vaccinated, more people are also going back to the office after working from home. That's creating anxiety for some, according to marriage and family therapist Carrie Krawick of the Birmingham Maple Clinic.
They feel a lot of anxiety about what will be expected of them, and what they would do if, say, they were in a situation that causes them more fear. So I think there was like a real loss of momentum and a change of pace for people. And now the thought of going back and resuming that activity level feels very stressful and daunting.
While coronavirus vaccine expanding, some residents are still hesitant to get the shot. Here's MNN health reporter Dr. Deanna Lights.
Vaccine hesitancy can be linked to a number of factors, such as social and cultural. Ronnie Famea is a pharmacist and area director for Ascension, Michigan.
We're seeing hesitancy greatly in various multicultural communities, such as the African American community, the Chaldean community.
To separate COVID-19 vaccine fact from fiction, Ascension, Michigan is holding a virtual town hall for multicultural communities on the hospital's Facebook page Thursday evening from 7 to 8. Dr. Deanna Lights, the Michigan News Network.
WSGW News Time, 9:07.
Hi, this is Mary Ann from Warden Interiors of Frankenmuth. We have all been living through these challenging times and readjusting our way of doing our everyday tasks. At Warden Interiors, we remember the simpler times when you could pull into a gas attendant, pump gas, and clean your windows. If you long for that type of service again, it can be found at Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. From the moment you step through our front door, you will again get that all-inclusive experience. Your ideas can easily be brought to life by our knowledgeable design team and installed by our own expert installers. Whatever your dreams are, from floors to counters, ceramic to draperies or blinds, we at Warden Interiors pride ourselves on making all your home and business improvements feel like that simpler time in life. So please be sure to stop into Warden Interiors today and enjoy your all-inclusive experience, as we can help you every step of the way. Warden Interiors on North Main Street in Frankenmuth will help you bring it all together.
WSGW News Time, 9:08. With priority groups opening up to more people across the state, Midland's Open Door Shelter, in partnership with the Midland County Health Department, put on a vaccine clinic yesterday for the ministry's shelter and soup kitchen guests. WSG Rick Antonio has more.
Since the state announced that homeless individuals were eligible for the vaccine as of March 8th, both organizations worked to quickly make the clinic available for the homeless in Midland County. Renee Pettinger, executive director for the Open Door, says she's grateful for the health department putting on the clinic, especially after a particularly difficult year for those needing help from the shelter. 40 doses of the Johnson & Johnson single-shot vaccine were administered on site to eliminate the need to schedule a second dose. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
It's taken up to 2 years of preparation operation, but today sees the launch of new online services for Secretary of State customers. MNN's Jim Matthews reports.
Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson says the new options expand the self-service stations to include driver's license and state ID transactions at more than 130 new stations across the state. It securely combines tens of millions of driver and vehicle records into one integrated system and moves the department from a decades-old legacy system to an improved customer service technology. In addition, services include being able to request and obtain a driving record, and you can add a motorcycle endorsement to an eligible driver's license. Transactions on the self-serve machines are offered in English, Spanish, Arabic, and Vietnamese, and all accept credit or debit cards, and some even accept cash. Jim Matthews, Michigan News Network.
A newly published report says powerful wind gusts linked to global warming are harming water quality at Lake Erie and perhaps elsewhere in the Great Lakes. A study by scientists at Canada's University of Guelph says extreme wind events in summer churn up water in Erie's central basin that is low in oxygen and high in phosphorus. They propel it into the western section of the lake, which is already overloaded with phosphorus. That poses a hazard for fish and insects on which they feed. The study says those heavy winds are happening more frequently as climate change brings more extreme weather. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. In 10, I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Snow is possible in the area early today. Freezing rain could even mix in at times. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, possibly a few breaks of afternoon sunshine. Highs will top out near 41 degrees. Winds easterly 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight it becomes partly cloudy to mostly clear. Winds will be light and lows drop to 29. Wednesday, an abundance of sunshine. Winds remain light. Highs approach 51. Wednesday night, cloudiness builds into the area. Lows fall back to 34. And then a chance for rain developing on Thursday. Snow could mix in at times early. Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now it's 29.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome on a Tuesday morning. Welcome to the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Later on during the 10 o'clock hour, we're going to be talking to someone from Consumers about a program to help with winter heating bills. We will also be talking on Focus to Fat Matt's Barbecue this morning. That sounds interesting to me. But we're going to start out by talking about water and water protection for kids this morning. And we're going to do that with the senior policy advocate for the National Resources Defense Council here in Michigan. We say good morning to Cindy Roper. Cindy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art, and thank you for being here today.
Well, thanks for joining us. I guess we need to start out with a bit of an overview of the NRDC and what it is you folks do.
Sure. Well, the Natural Resources Defense Council has been around since 1970, and we work to ensure that every person has a right to clean air, clean water, and a healthy community. So we do that with a team of lawyers and policy advocates, as well as, just people who are helping get the message out to ensure that the public has the information they need to be making informed decisions about their families and their communities from toxic exposure and other threats. So I work here in Michigan, and I work with our Safe Water Initiative, specifically on ensuring that we have safe drinking water, and also that we're keeping the water on, working on with groups on the ground in communities throughout the state to ensure that their water isn't shut off and that we have affordable water.
Well, there's a lot of issues surrounding water, that's for sure. Let's start with this particular bill. It's a bipartisan bill that's been reintroduced in the Senate that has to do with lead in water protection for kids. Explain this, if you would. And also the fact I'm interested that it's reintroduced. Has this been around before and didn't make it?
Thank you for clarifying that. So the bill was introduced in October of 2019 with bipartisan support. And there was a committee hearing on the bill on March 3rd of 2020. And we all know what happened shortly after that time. Everything shut down. So the bill sponsors and the others, the backers of the legislation, are still in support of moving this forward. And we're very pleased that they have prioritized this early on to get the bills back into the process, and we expect committee hearings will be happening next month, and we'll go from there.
This is something that the NRDC has been promoting for a while, called Filter First. So explain what this bill does. Assuming it passes, what will happen?
Sure. So let me just start by saying, well, when lead is present in drinking water, obviously that is a potent neurotoxin. It's toxicant. It's very damaging to children and infants and the like in particular. And what NRDC did is we reviewed the lead testing data for the entire state of New York, because they have a mandatory testing bill. And what we found from New York is that 82% of the New York public schools reported at least one tap that tested above 15 parts per billion. And this only safe level of lead is 0. 82% of the schools tested above 15 at least one tap, and 56% of the New York State public schools tested above 15 at more than one of their water outlets. And most of those, the highest level, which was surprising, was outside of New York City, 59%, and inside the city was 51%. And then one other quick example that's close to home is that the state of Indiana did a voluntary testing program between 2017 and 2019, and they found that 62% of their schools had at least one fixture that was over 15. And again, 0 is the safe level. So rather than going down the path of testing and throwing money at testing, which is very expensive, and then trying to chase the lead throughout the school buildings, replacing the fixtures with fixtures that contain lead. Believe it or not, lead-free fixtures are allowed to contain lead. So you're reintroducing lead into the system. What we decided is the best approach is to go ahead and skip the testing part, go straight to developing a plan for each school where you would identify where filtered water stations, those fixtures that, you can put a bottle underneath and it filters the water and it comes out, or they also have bubblers that have filters as well. But to, go ahead and identify where you need those at a ratio of about 1 to 100 students. And then you would install the filtered water stations, and the testing or the sampling for water would come after filtration to ensure the filters are working properly. And they, of course, need to be maintained on a regular basis. But that's what we are proposing, and that's what's in the legislation for schools, and similarly for child care centers. Although you wouldn't need to install a filtered water station for, say, a home or a small child care facility, it would be pitchers or mounted filters on the tap that could provide filtered water.
There was a famous commercial, Pay Me Now or Pay Me Later. And it seems to me when it comes to lead service lines and lead in our water, the later is here. And the problem is, can't afford to do it, can't afford not to do it. How do we fix this?
Well, yes, that's absolutely right. And, what we have with schools in particular is that typically the lead is not coming from the pipe that connects the, school to the water main, because those pipes are larger than what you would find at your homes. The lead is typically coming from inside the building, through the plumbing and through the fixtures and fittings. So it's kind of a little bit different than the residential side. But what we also discovered, the Natural Resources Defense Council did a cost analysis looking at how much it would cost to go with our approach versus just testing and then chasing the lead throughout these school buildings. And in the first year, it's only 65% of the cost of doing a full-on testing strategy, which there are other bills, I should say, that have been introduced that focus just on. So what we found is not only is there a cost saving in the first year, which is the most expensive year for Filtered First because you have to install the water stations, but over 10 years, the cost is only about a third of the cost of doing a test and chase, I call it, approach to addressing lead in schools. So we have a situation where now that we know lead is in our school buildings, in the water, that people are wanting to do something about it. And really the only responsible thing to do is to get these filtered water stations in and giving the kids safe drinking water, and that it's less costly to do so.
All right, Cindy, I know you're on a time constraint, but I have to take a break here, so hang on. We'll come back for one more segment. We're talking to Cindy Roper from the Natural Resources Defense Council about clean drinking water and lead-free water in schools for youngsters. More ahead after this on WSGW. Let me take a moment to talk to you about Blue Cross Blue Shield. When you choose Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan for your Medicare coverage, it's easy to get the care, tests, or treatment you need whenever you need them. When you need access to care, Blue Cross provides you with more options that work for every lifestyle. Schedule appointments for checkups or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. If you'd like to stay close to home, give the Blue Cross 24/7 nurse line a call to schedule a virtual doctor visit. Whenever you need assistance, Blue Cross will connect you with the information and help you need. With a Blue Medicare plan, you'll never have to go without medication. Their easy-to-use prescription drug plan allows you to refill and pick up your medications from your local pharmacy or have them delivered by mail. Get access to the care you need as soon as you need it with Blue Cross, the company that more than 500,000 people in Michigan trust for their Medicare coverage. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, confidence comes with every card. See what other members are saying at bcbsm.com/seniorcare. We'll be back with Cindy Roper in just a moment.
If you're thinking that the UPS store is only about packing and shipping,
I sort of was.
Here's something else you should know. Mailboxing services. A real street address is just the ing to give your business that professional image.
I hadn't thought about that.
Once you see every ing we can do for your small business, it'll have you rethinking the UPS store.
I think I already have.
For small business, all in one place.
The UPS store.
The UPS store franchise locations are independently owned and operated. Services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
For more details, check out the UPS store in the Green Acres Plaza in Saginaw or at the upsstore.com/3451.
What's in store right now at your local Staples?
Your one-stop shop for shipping solutions.
Staples has everything your business needs to ship, like packing materials, mailers, and UPS shipping services.
And now, get 20% off UPS Express shipping services at Staples. Plus, buy two, get one free on decorative shipping supplies.
Staples can even help you customize your shipping materials to create a memorable unboxing experience for customers.
Staples. Solution.
In-store only. Ends 4/3/21. Exclusions apply while supplies last.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician. If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. Your symptoms can mean something serious, so don't wait. Talk to a doctor right away, by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I'm Elizabeth. This is the Fox Business Report.
Add Sweden to the list of countries halting the use of AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine as a precautionary measure amid concerns about reports of blood clots in some recipients in Europe. A growing number of European countries, including Germany, France, Italy, and Spain, suspended use of AstraZeneca's vaccine, and Venezuela will not authorize its use. However, the company and international regulators say there is no evidence the shot was to blame for the blood clots. Kohler, the bathroom fixtures maker, says it will stop using facial recognition to identify customers. This after Chinese state TV criticized Kohler and automaker BMW for using the technology in a possible violation of privacy laws that took effect this this year. U.S. stock futures mixed heading into today's session. European markets trending higher. Asian markets closed higher. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Sal Giangrasso, invested in you.
Finally, spring has arrived, and so have all new Untuckit styles. Check out our new wrinkle-free shirts that every guy needs as the weather warms up. And don't forget our famous polos, the official shirts of spring. Untuckit shirts are designed to be worn untucked and will look great as we get back to the things we've been missing, like dinner with friends, reuniting with family, going on vacations, and yes, even heading back to the office. Untuckit, shirts designed to be worn radio for 20% off your first purchase at untuckit.com.
Northeastern Paint Supply invites you to listen to the WSGW Focus Show with Art Lewis. Weekday mornings from 11 to 11:30. You'll hear local business and community leaders. Sponsored by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City.
Since Election Day, more than 5 million people have downloaded the Newsmax TV app on their smartphone. It's free, and you can watch Newsmax right away. Newsmax is on all major cable systems, smart TVs, Roku, YouTube, Zumo, and Pluto. So go to Newsmax.com for the latest news and get the Newsmax TV app to watch Sebastian Gorka, Dick Morris, Greg Kelly, Diamond and Silk, Michelle Malkin, and Mike Huckabee. Everyone is talking about Newsmax, so download the free app now.
It's all about the nose. It's your air filter, the first line of defense against bacteria and viruses. If in your nose, guess what? You get sick. That's why it's so important to keep your nose clean, just like washing your hands. Now there's a better way to keep your nose clean and help your body protect itself. It's called Navage Nasal Care. Navage uses powered suction to flush out allergens, mucus, bacteria, and viruses. At Navage.com, CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath, Target, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show, going after Andrew Cuomo is now spin the woke wheel racist. Okay, I admit I didn't see that one coming.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
Back with you, talking to Cindy Roper from the National Resources Defense Council about a Senate bill working its way through the Michigan legislature to install filter stations in schools for safe drinking water for youngsters. Cindy, it's one thing to have a bipartisan bill introduced. It's quite another to get it passed and then signed by the governor. What are your expectations this year?
We're actually quite optimistic about this. Again, I think Michigan in particular is aware of the damaging impacts in drinking water in the wake of the Flint water crisis. And so the fact that we have strong support from both sides of the aisle in the legislature and the governor has included a line item in the budget to fund the purchase of the filtered water stations. We believe everything is lining up in a way that is going to allow this to move forward. We're not taking anything for granted, obviously. We are meeting with lawmakers. We're having the conversations along with our partners that are also working on this policy. So we're optimistic we can start ensuring that the kids have lead-free water in schools.
One of the things in this bill is it will require schools and child care centers to test the filtered tap water annually. Will there be compensation for that? Is there going to be a fund to help them with these tests?
That is part of the request that we're making, on an ongoing basis. We're getting the funding in for the first year of implementing this legislation. And that's the other thing that works out, in favor of Filter First is, again, now that it is clear that we have lead in our school drinking water and that if you test for it, you're going to find, we're seeing that parents, educators, and others want to take action. And the action that is typically taken is to start testing all of these water outlets and then chasing the lead throughout the school and doing the repairs. So the annual cost of maintenance for the filtered water stations in Michigan would be, throughout the state, would be about $12 million as compared to $47 million annually to do the testing and the sort of what I call chase, trying to find the lead and then replace it with products that contain lead, which still, not going to get the lead out of the system. So we're seeing that there will be a need for ongoing support for either filter first or for the test and, chase approach, but it's far less expensive to spend money on the sampling and on the filtered waters, the filter cartridge replacements.
If we take schools out of this just for a minute, we talk about chasing lead. Are we at the point where we really have to chase the lead, particularly when it comes to residential?
On residential, we need to just get the lead pipes out of the ground. Michigan in the country that has enacted a regulation that is more protective than what the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has through its lead and copper rule. And that was done in the wake of the Flint water crisis. And we were part of the stakeholder group that helped come up with a plan to basically get the lead pipes out of the ground within 20 years, and that we need to take a number of measures in the interim to ensure that we're not releasing more lead than we need to be as far as replaced and putting those protections in place. And then we also changed the sampling approach that we use in Michigan, so that before we were only testing like at the tap. So you weren't necessarily finding out whether or not there was lead in the pipe out in front of your house. And so now we have better data that's coming in because they take a second sample. That is, they do the first liter and then they do what's called the fifth liter. And so we're starting to get a better profile of the problems with lead in our systems. However, lead releases on a variable basis. So even if you sample my home, for example, I have a galvanized pipe and I'm part of the sampling pool in my community, because that can also be a problematic material as far as lead release. And if you sample my house today and then you sample it 2 weeks from now, you could come up with completely different results. So we aren't using the sampling as the approach for protecting the public's health. We're really focused on getting those lead pipes out of the ground safely as quickly as possible.
All right, so let's finish up with the schools. Assuming that this legislation passes and the governor signs it, how long are we looking at before schools can say they're lead-free in terms of their drinking water?
Well, schools could be working on this drinking water safety plan right now. So the first step is, again, mapping out where you believe you would need your filtered water stations, and to really get a very clear idea of what your plumbing is within your school building. And if you have your map and you know where your filtered water stations need to go, they could have these in place, I'm going to say by not by September, just because of the way the process works, but definitely by a year from September, and possibly because the money will be available if it all goes forward.
Well, Cindy, thanks for spending a little time with us this morning and telling us about it. We'll have to keep abreast of this legislation and see how it moves through the legislature and onto the governor's desk.
Again, thank you for the opportunity, Art. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for being with us. Bye-bye now. Cindy Roper, she is a Michigan senior policy advocate for the Natural Resources Defense Council. We thank her for her time this morning. We'll move on now to open phones, and we will have open phones from now till the top of the hour at 752-6111. Toll free 866-790 WSGW. Whatever's on your mind this morning. We've got a number of things to talk about, but we'll always, as we do regularly, defer to you. If you have something you would rather talk about, give us a call this morning and we'll chat with you on the Art Lewis Show. And we'll be back after these notes.
Drive green with Bader & Sons Company all year long and enjoy the ride. Run with us from now until June 1st and get an even better deal on 1 to 5 Series John Deere tractors with John Deere Rewards. Productivity and versatility are how we run. That's why the 1 through 5 Series John Deere tractors and attachments are engineered to help you till, mulch, haul, seed, sweep, plow, load, and of course, mow. Stop in today or buy online at greentractors.com.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. Than that.
I'm elder law attorney Carol Thomas. Our Saginaw seminars are coming up, and they're going to be on Wednesday, March 24th at the Horizons Conference Center. I have seminars at 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 5 o'clock, and they always fill to capacity. These have been very difficult times for everyone, but I'm finding that more than ever, people want to come to my seminars. So unfortunately, we have to have less attendance because we honor social distancing. But the people that have come to my seminars since this all began are very grateful to hear the information. If you don't know what you don't know, there's a chance you could lose everything if you or a loved one need nursing home care. At the seminar, we talk about wills and trusts and how it all fits together. If you've ever wondered about, should I go to one of Carol's seminars, I would say I highly recommend it. I have sessions at 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 5 o'clock. They're in Saginaw at the Horizons Conference Center. The seminars that we've had since this began have filled up to capacity. So if you are interested, please call my 2300.
Circulate the air in your home with an attractive new fan from Menards. Check out our wide selection of Hunter ceiling fans. From a traditional look to modern flair, Hunter fans will fit any style in any room of your house. Save 11% on all Hunter ceiling fans. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through March 20th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson Ricky LeBlanc, admitted in Massachusetts only. Sokolov Law LLC, Chestnut Hill, Mass. Paul J. Morgan, Winter Park, Florida. Greg Hoppy, New Jersey. Michael Bro Gonzalez, admitted Louisiana. While this firm maintains joint responsibility, most cases of this type are referred to other attorneys for principal responsibility. Mesothelioma. If you know what mesothelioma is, you or someone you love has likely been affected by this devastating cancer. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Sokolov Law today. 1-800-578-2400. The only known cause of mesothelioma is asbestos exposure. Thousands of U.S. veterans and trade workers are at risk for the disease. Nearly $30 billion has been set aside to pay money to asbestos victims. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call now. You may be able to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Call for a free legal consultation at 1-800-578-2400. That's 1-800-578-2400. 1-800-578-2400.
Direct from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Lines open for you at Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. Toll free 866-790-WSGW. There was a question the other day about the vaccines, COVID-19 vaccines, and side effects. Did one have worse side effects than another? There's been some, examples out there on both sides, and some claim one is worse than another. And there was an article written in USA Today by, where is it here? Elizabeth Weiss. This was from this morning, talking about the headline is, what if you had your choice of COVID-19 vaccine? The differences are small, but they do exist. But it goes on to talk about the side effects, which was the basis of the question that we had the other morning. And she writes, all 3 COVID-19 vaccines in use in the United States can cause short-term side effects in some people, including pain at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle pain, and joint pain. These are signs the immune system is kicking into high gear, and it is not a bad thing. They don't mean the vaccines aren't safe. For Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna, more than half of the people who get them have chills and fever a few days afterward. If you haven't had COVID-19, the reaction tends to be stronger after the second dose, said Vanderbilt Edwards. So there you go. Doesn't matter which one you get, you may or may not get side effects. And like I said, I had the Pfizer vaccine. On the first dose, I had just a little bit of soreness at the injection site for maybe a couple hours, if that. On the second injection, I had absolutely no reaction whatsoever. No chills, no fatigue, no headache, no soreness. It was perfect. I had no problem with it. I have talked to others who have had lots of problems, both, by the way, Pfizer and Moderna. Talked to one gentleman, a friend of mine, who is in excellent physical condition, and he was laid out for a day and a half. It really knocked him for a loop. But others, as I say, have no effects whatsoever. So the bottom line is, whatever vaccine you're offered, take it. You know, the day may come when there'll be enough vaccine out there that you can have your choice. You can choose the Pfizer or the Moderna if you want the RNA type, or you can choose the Johnson & Johnson, which, according to the story, is the one that many people will choose simply because it's a single shot. You don't have to go back for a second dose. Its efficacy is not quite as good as Pfizer and Moderna. However, in terms of keeping you out of the hospital and preventing death and serious illness, it's fine. So, you know, somebody calls you up that you're on a list and they say, okay, we've got a vaccine for you. Show up at such and such time. Show up. Take it, whatever it is. Be protected. It's a smart thing to do. So I think, you know, and vaccines are becoming more and more available. Production is up. Pfizer and Moderna and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine hitting the marketplace will add to it. Now they're going to open up Ford Field in Detroit, where they hope to vaccinate 6,000 a day. And it shouldn't be too long down the road. And when I say too long, a couple of months, you know, compared to how long we've been in this COVID-19 crisis, shouldn't be too long, but between now and the time things start loosening up. We've already seen a little bit of a loosening. We've seen other states completely loosen, and I'm not sure that's the smartest thing in the world. Particularly Texas, where not only have they loosened everything in the state back to total what they could call normal, no masks required, although businesses can still require them, but they've opened up to full capacity everything. At the same time, they have an influx at the southern border. And who knows how many of those folks are carrying the COVID-19 virus. So I think if I were Texas, I'd be a little concerned right now, but time will tell. Time will tell if they get hit with another surge because of the immigration right now that's happening and because they've opened the state wide open. Mississippi has done the same thing, and there are other states in the process of looking at it and thinking of doing the same thing. There is an enormous desire to get back to normal. Now, who knows what normal is going to be? There was an article, I don't know if I took it down, and let me see here. Yeah, here's a headline. Roughly 4 in 5 Manhattan office workers, that's New York City, so roughly 4 in 5 Manhattan office workers will not return full-time, says a survey. And what's happening is Manhattan's largest employers are starting to plan for the post-COVID future of work, and most of them are giving up on the traditional way of doing it. Just 22% of Manhattan's large employers will require all workers to return to the office full-time when they do eventually go back, according to a Partnership for the New York City survey. Some 66% said they would adopt a hybrid model of days in the office and days at home. Another 9% said they would not require workers to return to the office at all, and 4% said it would ultimately be role dependent, in other words, what you do for a living. I suspect the new normal is going to be, possibly a hybrid model. Depending on the type of work you do, maybe you have to go into the office 1 or 2 days a week and do the rest from home. There are going to be those who work from home. There was a company in Minneapolis that's giving up a third of their office space because they don't expect all their workers to come back into the office full time. They expect they'll be able to work from home. And I would have to guess that if companies are doing that, if companies are saying, stay home, do your work from home, they have seen signs that they don't lose efficiency and that the work is getting done. Because if the work wasn't getting done and people were goofing off and they weren't doing their job, this would end in a hurry. But the fact that companies are willing to look at it, the fact that companies are willing to project down the road that some of their people are going to be at home, means they've discovered that we can work from home as a society and that we do the job and that we don't screw off. And that's, we've adapted. If you look throughout history, we adapt. The nation has to adapt from time to time when new circumstances present themselves. So adaptation it is. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Come back. We'll get to Carolyn Sheridan when we return. Let me talk to you about Thalen Ram Truck for a moment, because we in Michigan are in love with pickup trucks. All you have to do is look at the roads. Count the pickup trucks the next time. It's amazing how many pickup trucks are out there. I'm driving one right now I really like, the Ram 1500 Bighorn Quad Cab 4x4 from Thalen Ram in Bay City. Now, Ram trucks are engineered to bring you confidence because they have capability, technology, and luxury. It's comfortable. No compromises. A host of best-in-class features and class exclusives. There is a Ram truck tailored to your need. And if you stop into Thalen Ram on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City, take a look at their inventory of Ram trucks, find one that suits your need, take it for a test drive, then sit down with a Thalen Ram representative, find out about buying or leasing the Ram truck to suit your particular needs. Whether it's work or pleasure, there is a truck for you. Thalen searches the marketplace for the lowest prices on their new and used vehicles, and that's what they pass on to you, and they do that because it is the right thing to do. Visit Thalen Ram Truck on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City, online, thinkthalen.com. And we'll be back after these notes.
Hi, this is Mary Ann from Warden Interiors of Frankenmuth. We have all been living through the and readjusting our way of doing our everyday tasks. At Warden Interiors, we remember the simpler times when you could pull into a gas station and have the attendant pump gas and clean your windows. If you long for that type of service again, it can be found at Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. From the moment you step through our front door, you will again get that all-inclusive experience. Your ideas can easily be brought to life by our knowledgeable design team and installed by our own expert installers. Whatever your dreams are, from floors to counters, ceramic to draperies or blinds, we at Warden Interiors pride ourselves on making all your home and business improvements feel like that simpler time in life. So please be sure to stop into Warden Interiors today and enjoy your all-inclusive experience, as we can help you every step of the way. Warden Interiors on North Main Street in Frankenmuth will help you bring it all together.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with Zipple. Technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
The 2-2, swing and a miss. He got him with a high fastball. End of the night for Skubal. Ends.
Boy, what a pitch.
The countdown is on. 16 days until opening day. WSGW is your station for the Tigers.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Let's go to our phones. We'll go out to Sheridan and talk to Carol this morning. Hi, Carol. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. A couple things I got. One thing is we seen the scouts for the bluebirds the other day. So if you bring in your bluebird houses or get them cleaned out and make sure the entrance hole is smooth in it, take a piece of sandpaper because it kind of wears their feathers down if they're really, really rough at the entrance hole. And keep the spirals out of them. Another thing is the Grammys the other night. There's a kid named Billy Strings. It's not his real name. He lived in Muir, Michigan, which is just beside Ionia. I think there's 500 people live in Muir. And he won a Grammy the other night. So if you get a chance to hear Billy Strings, I think you can go online, or I think Wood TV had some of his music. He's very, very good. Bluegrass, with Bill Monroe and a lot of them gone.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of is gone. But if you like bluegrass, he wrote it all himself. I got the album before it got popular.
Yeah, we used to have a bluegrass group around here in Saginaw called Loose Caboose, and they were absolutely fabulous. This goes back about 20 years, but they were absolutely fabulous. And they were, not only were they good musicians, but they were fun to watch, and they had fun with the audience. Great times, great memories.
Yeah. Well, Charlie Wagner used to have the sing over here, but of course last year he didn't have it, and so many of them are gone. There was a couple of them that were really, really, there was about 10, 15 that were really, really good.
Yeah.
And most of them have got too old. Way too old, but it's really good music and fun to enjoy, and people can pick up on it a little bit. But maybe the mid-Michigan kid that's done really well and got a real decent message.
And you said his name is what?
Billy Strings, like strings on the guitar.
Billy Strings. Okay, I'll have to look for him.
Yeah, and he won it the other night. I missed it. We didn't turn it on in time to see it, but kind of fun and a little different and something nice.
I didn't watch, but I'll look him up. Okay.
Well, you missed a few good things.
I'm not so sure about that.
well, maybe you did.
I'm not into those award shows anymore. they got way too political.
Kind of fun to see. No! Not that we've seen, wasn't there? There was kind of a hoochie coochie show after 10 o'clock. It was kind of fun.
All right, Carol.
Something fun. I'm sick of this draft stuff. Bye.
Bye now. All right, Billy Strings. I'll have to look him up, see what he's like. But I have given up on the award shows. I just don't watch them anymore. Carl is in Saginaw. Carl, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. You had a new show premiere at 12 o'clock.
Yep.
And last week you asked me to listen to it and give it a try.
Yeah, it wasn't, and we should point out it premiered at noon yesterday. It's not a new show, though we've had it on in the evening for a long time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
New time.
Yeah.
And it's Markley, Van Camp, and
Robbins.
Robin.
Right.
Robbins. Okay. Well, I listened to it the first 2 hours. I heard a lot of negativity, I guess I would say. A lot of talk about the media and the left and Biden and Pelosi, and everything seemed very negative. It was all, can you believe this? And this is happening, and they're lying to us, and And it really, is this, I guess, is this the best that, talk radio has to offer? I mean, is this representative of?
It's representative of it's representative of what people are listening to. That's why it's there.
Okay.
I mean, how is that any different than Rush Limbaugh was? It's representative to what people were listening to and what you can sell. And the Democrats have not found a solution to that problem in terms of presenting a radio show that garners an audience. And I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
I'm talking about negativity, Art. I'm talking about tone.
Yeah, to you it's negativity. To you it's negative because they're not agreeing with you, and I understand that. Carl.
They weren't in favor of anything. It was just, we don't like the media. We don't like the left. We don't like Biden. I didn't hear anything positive about conservatives or about the right. It was just negative, negative. All. I mean, is that? Well, I don't understand why somebody would want to listen to.
Well,
that.
You'd have to ask all the people that do. Then I guess, the question is, why do those shows gain a big audience? You have to ask yourself that. I mean, that's a reasonable question. But the fact is, they do, and that's what else can I tell you? That's what happens. They do. They gather an audience. There are lots of people who look at it differently than you do, but that's what makes a horse race.
But are we just going to cater to the lowest common denominator and just? If the public wants bread and circuses, that's just what we're going to give them and keep them happy.
If the public's making the decision and they're paying the bills, yeah, afraid so.
I guess.
That's an honest answer, and that's an honest answer. And I credit you for doing that. I guess that's just not. It's not your cup of tea, and I understand that. All right, my friend, I got to run. Take care. Okay. Bye-bye now. We'll take our last break this hour, and then we'll close out. Be back with another hour next hour. We're going to start out talking to consumers about a new program available to help with bills, and then open phones after that. We'll be back after these notes.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, you can expect access to care as soon as you need it. Just call our customer service team for the help and information you need. You can also schedule appointments for checkups or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. With Blue Cross, it's easy to get the care, tests, or treatment you need whenever you need them. Blue Cross confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/seniorcare.
Oh, wow. I love what you've done to your kitchen.
Thanks. We did new countertops and a new sink and faucet.
Oh, it looks great. Did you do all the work yourself?
Oh, no. We worked with the remodeling department at Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. They helped us select the right choice for us from their wide selection of countertop material, and we love it. We shopped around, too. Reamer had the best selection and the best pricing.
So, what's your next project?
Well, since we love our new kitchen, we plan to do the bathroom next.
Oh, wow.
This time, we'll to see all the new things they have for the bathroom.
Visit the showroom at Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to see countertop displays of Cambria quartz and Corian, kitchen sinks made of Corian, stainless steel, quartz, swanstone, and cast iron, plus a large display of kitchen faucets from several manufacturers. One is perfect for your lifestyle and budget. Shop local. Shop Reamer. Go to reamerplumbing.com.
Any way you spell it, Reamer means quality.
Who will help you get there? You spent years working, taking care of your kids, saving money, and now you're nearing retirement. Now it's your turn. You get to decide where to go next. Will your retirement include a guide to help you get there? Jason and Carl Kreiderman and their team at Great Lakes Investment Advisors have helped hundreds of families create their retirement roadmap. Don't let financial limitations take you off course. Jason and Carl want you to have the retirement you've worked so hard for. They can help you create a retirement roadmap that's tailored to your lifestyle and long-term financial goals. Call Jason and Carl Kreiderman and the team at Great Lakes Investment Advisors today at 989-848-1188 and schedule a visit. 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune in to Jason and Carl Kreiderman's radio show, Your Financial Sunday morning at 8. Investment advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor with the state of Michigan.
Spectrum Mobile is the fastest growing mobile provider in the nation. It's easy to see why millions have chosen a better way to mobile. With Spectrum Mobile, there are no contracts and no added fees. Even nationwide 5G is included at no extra cost. Switch today and you could save big. Grab your current mobile bill and use the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator to see how much you can save. Go to spectrummobile.com/saving today. Spectrum Internet required based on Q2 2020 subscriber data. Services not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
All right, we're heading up toward the top of the hour. We'll have news from CBS, the local report, and then we'll be back with another hour of the Art Lewis Show. Talk to you then.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A vote of confidence for AstraZeneca vaccine, even as Sweden joins a growing number of European Union nations suspending use of the shots. Correspondent Vicky Barker is at the foreign desk.
EU Chief Medicines Regulator Emer Cook says her experts will spend another 2 days examining possible links between the AstraZeneca vaccine and sometimes fatal blood clots. However,
we are still firmly convinced that the benefits of the AstraZeneca vaccine outweigh the risk of these side effects.
She says there's still no evidence the jab causes blood clots and says similar rare events have also been linked to the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
Moderna has begun COVID vaccine trials in babies. Old. Dr. Mendy Jeter's 2 daughters have gotten both of their shots.
If our kids can help get this trial approved for other teenagers, I think it'll make everyone feel better and be in a safer place.
Health experts say children are crucial to achieving herd immunity, with 25% of the U.S. population under the age of 21. The Homeland Security Secretary says his department is aiming to manage a surge of migrants at the southern border. Correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
Still refraining from calling the matter a crisis, the Homeland Security Secretary allows that the situation at the border is, quote, difficult. Among the Biden administration's priorities, Alejandro Mayorkas lists and keeping families together. In a statement detailing the steps his department is taking to deal with the influx, Mayorkas says the U.S. is now on pace to see more people attempting to cross the border than in the past 20 years.
Breonna Taylor's boyfriend is speaking out in an exclusive interview with CBS's Gayle King. Kenneth Walker was with Taylor the night she died in a botched police raid in Louisville.
I'm still sitting here right here as the only person who's been to jail, and I didn't kill anybody.
Walker opened fire when officers entered the apartment. Last week, charges against him were permanently dismissed. Instagram will use artificial intelligence to keep predators away from young people. Merrill.
Even in one of our latest reports, we saw that in over 10,000 pieces of content, 5 were potentially risky for teens. But 5 is too much, and that's why we're investing in even more technology to protect teens.
Prince Philip is back home at Windsor Castle. Queen Elizabeth's 99-year-old husband was released from a hospital in London after a month of treatment for an infection and a heart procedure, neither believed to be related to COVID-19. A statement from Buckingham Palace thanks medical staff at King Edward VII and St. Bartholomew's hospitals. The Dow is down 55 points. The S&P ahead 6. This is CBS News.
Indeed's Instant Match instantly searches its database of millions of resumes, delivering candidates who best fit your job description. More at Indeed.com/credit.
Drive green with Bader & Sons Company all year long and enjoy the ride. Run with us from now until June 1st and get an even better deal on 1 to 5 Series John Deere tractors with John Deere Rewards. Productivity and versatility are how we run. That's why the 1 through 5 Series John Deere tractors and attachments are engineered to help you till, mulch, haul, seed, sweep, plow, load, and of course, mow. Stop in today or buy online at greentractors.com.
You've heard people talk about your volume discount pricing. Just what does that mean? How does it save me money on a new Ford Escape or an F-Series truck?
We try to sell our cars and trucks for as little as possible, not as much as possible.
You're saying volume sales spread your overhead costs and profit over more vehicles?
We'd rather sell 1,000 vehicles at $100 profit than 100 vehicles at $1,000 profit.
So that's why you have acres of new vehicles here.
That's why you'll find a bigger selection of Ford Escapes, Ford trucks, plus a complete line of Ford and Lincoln vehicles.
Is it true that dealers, even from other states, buy from you because of your inventory?
I can't comment. Like always, we encourage everyone to shop and get the very best price of the Ford or Lincoln of their choice, and then let us show you what real savings are.
Everyone loves to save money, and right now, you can help yourself to thousands of dollars in savings and the best possible selection at Midland Ford Lincoln, your savings store.
I'm Dr. Andrea Russo, a cardiologist. Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer. Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 31 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. As Michigan ramps up vaccination efforts, the state wants to help employers prepare for a return to the office. Brooke Allen has this report.
The return to in-person office safety policies to be put into place, and the state wants to help through its new return to office work group. That group will make recommendations for employers to use in planning their phased reopening schedule. Office workplaces have had a reported 275 COVID-19 outbreaks over the last 6 months. The advisory group will provide ongoing guidance and assistance and will meet weekly with their first meeting scheduled for this Thursday.
Again, that was Brooke Allen reporting. COVID-19 vaccine eligibility is expanding. Starting March 22nd, all Michigan residents 50 and older can get the shot, and on April 5th, everyone age 16 and up will be able to receive a vaccine. Health reporter Dr. Deanna Light says health experts are advising residents to get shots as soon as possible.
There are 3 COVID-19 vaccines on the market. The Johnson & Johnson requires 1 dose, while the Moderna and Pfizer require 2 doses. Dr. Matthew Sims is the director of infectious for Beaumont Health.
The effectiveness between Pfizer and Moderna is about equal. The effectiveness of the J&J may be a little less in terms of preventing COVID completely, but in terms of keeping you out of the hospital and keeping you alive, it's good. And we are recommending get whichever one you can get.
The most common side effects include soreness at the injection site, fever, chills, or headache, which can last a day or 2.
And that was Dr. Deanna Light. WSGW News Time is 10:07.
What you thinking about?
Oh, nothing. Just looking for inspiration.
Oh, here. Inspiration. Noun. The process of being mentally stimulated, especially to do something creative. There.
I know what it is. I want to find it.
Okay, then let's go to Designer's Touch.
You read my mind.
Designer's Touch Decorating Center is your inspiration store. Whether you're looking at countertops or need that personal touch for your new tiled shower or kitchen backsplash. With over 70 years of combined designer experience, we can make your space feel more like home. Designer's Touch Decorating has a fine selection of quality ceramic and porcelain tile, including American Olean, Doll Tile, Marazzi, and their newest collection from Happy Floors and many others. Even Cambria Quartz, American made and fabricated locally. Go to dtdecorating.com to learn more, or stop in Midland Road in Freeland. No appointment necessary, but always appreciated.
WSGW News Time is 10:08. Midland's open door was the site of a Midland County Health Department COVID-19 vaccine clinic Monday for the ministry's shelter and soup kitchen guests. The state of Michigan officially announced that homeless individuals are eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine starting March 8th. 40 doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine were administered to the Midland County homeless on site to eliminate the need to dose. Open Door Executive Director Renee Pettinger said the agency is grateful to the health department for bringing the clinic on site for their guests. Although the clinic was focused solely on those who are homeless and those who frequent Open Door Soup Kitchen, other Midland County residents eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine can contact their primary care doctor or visit the Midland County website to learn about vaccine availability. Bay City commissioners have approved measures to resume outdoor dining earlier than initially proposed to help stop the spread of COVID-19. WSGW's Rick Antonio has more.
City ordinance has previously allowed businesses to provide dining outdoors with sidewalk cafe licenses on their outdoor property from April 1st until November 30th and from May 15th until November 30th for sidewalk cafes that are placed on adjacent on-street parking areas. An amendment approved by commissioners as part of this week's special orders agenda will retroactively allow these restaurants to begin serving outside again as of March 10th, ahead of this week's St. Patrick's Day holiday. Agreed to one change to the date range already, extending the previous cutoff from November 1st to the current November 30th rule. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
The Henry Ford Museum is putting the finishing touches on a new exhibit dedicated to racing that opens later this month. Here's more from Jeff Gilbert.
Driven to Win has drag racers, NASCAR racers, Le Mans racers, and a lot of history, plus interactive exhibits. And they don't just celebrate the winners.
You win some races, but most of the time you lose races. So more than anything, it takes perseverance, determination to succeed in that. And I think that's a lesson that any of us can apply to anything that we're doing.
Matt Anderson's curator of transportation at the Henry Ford, Driven to Win, officially opens March 27th at the Henry Ford Museum. Jeff Gilbert, the Michigan News Network.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom, 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see mostly cloudy skies here for your day today with a high into the lower 40s. Winds out of the northeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for tonight, partly cloudy sky conditions, a low around 29. By Wednesday, mostly sunny skies. We'll see high around 51. And on Thursday, a chance for rain and snow mixing early, then becoming all rain showers with cloudy skies, a high around 44. By Friday, mostly sunny sky conditions, a high around 40 degrees. And on Saturday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, a high around 51. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 30.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and SGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. We'll have open phones for the majority of the hour, but we're going to start out talking about something happening in the Energy Bill Department. Let's put it that way, because the Attorney General of the state, Dana Nessel, and Consumers Energy have joined forces to make available millions of dollars to pay winter bills. We're going to find out about that this morning by talking to the Senior Vice President and Chief Customer Officer of Consumers. We say good morning to Brian Rich. Brian, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. It's great to be back with you.
Glad to have you with us this morning. I have to tell you, when I first saw this story, the first thing that came to my mind is I don't know how to phrase it, but, here we have the Attorney General who just last week went after consumers for your proposed rate hike, and now is joining forces with consumers. I shook my head at the idiosyncrasy of it all. Let's talk about this program to help pay winter bills. How did this come about? Is it new?
Well, it's a little bit of all of the above. There's existing programs every year for customers to get assistance, but the federal stimulus that just passed certainly supplemented those by pretty material amounts. Sometimes tens of millions of incremental dollars are coming into existing programs in Michigan. In addition, people may have heard in the stimulus bill something called renter's assistance or homeowner's assistance, and in those provisions are actually percentages that are allocated toward utility assistance. So it's a little bit of some new programs through assistance as well as incrementing existing programs because there's such a significant need right now for customers to get help.
How does someone find out, A, if they qualify, and B, how to apply for the program? Where do they go?
The easiest thing for all of your listeners to know is to call 211 or to go to mi211.org. It's for those customers or listeners that don't know about 211, it's an incredible service. It's a free resource across the entire Lower Peninsula, and it connects people with nonprofit and governmental assistance agencies, and actually does more than just makes the connection. It actually helps them enroll in some of these programs. As you know, these are complex systems to navigate, and 211 really cuts through it all and connects people with who they need to know, how they qualify, and enrolls them into the actual programs.
Do you have any idea what percentage of customers are having difficulty?
It's, if I just back up to a year ago here as we hit the year anniversary of the pandemic, I would suggest that we don't see an increasing number of customers who would traditionally be in need of assistance, but we see an increase in the amount of arrears. So we here of not disconnecting customers, but working with them to get assistance. And that was very helpful, but it also allowed customers to build up some debt and arrears. So it's not necessarily the number of customers has increased that are in need of assistance, but the amount of arrears that they've built up are significantly higher.
So we're trying to get the word out to folks that they need to call 211 if they're having a problem with their energy bills. How much of their bill will it cover?
There's a lot of different programs, so it's hard for me to directly answer that. But some of the most effective programs are there's state energy relief funds, which really help customers. They might have a disconnect note, and it helps them pay off some of their arrears balance. There's other programs where if you get into a payment plan with Consumers Energy that's based on your income, and you can keep up with those payments over time, your arrears are forgiven. So there's a lot of different types of programs. Some are more forward-looking, where you're making payments and your arrears are being forgiven over time, and some are addressing your arrears balance and kind of squaring you up and allowing you to get a little bit of a fresh start. So dial 211 and they will be able to tell you which programs you qualify, how they work, and they really make a difference for customers.
When do you expect this money to be available?
Some of the money is already available. As I mentioned, Art, there's a baseline of funding that's already in a lot of these programs. The stimulus dollars are really in the system just now and incrementing them. But this is not an issue of there not being enough dollars. This is really an issue, and this is where we've really successfully partnered with the Attorney General, as you mentioned, to use our voices on our platform to get customers to take action. So there's really ample dollars in the system now, and we just need customers to pick up the phone, call 211, and take action and get enrolled.
And the program is ongoing. It will last as long as the money does, I assume.
That's correct. For some of the programs, there's a fiscal year that goes out until October 1st, and then the government will reauthorize new dollars. But some of these things like rental assistance and homeowners assistance that I had mentioned that are part of this federal stimulus, they are effectively, as you mentioned, first come, first serve. So early bird catches the worm, which is why we're pick up the phone and take action.
I mentioned early on how I was a little bit surprised at the partnership with the Attorney General because she's gone after your rate hike request. What is that request about?
We go through an annual process for both our electric and our gas businesses where we go to the Michigan Public Service Commission and we make cases for investments in, for example, improving the reliability of our system, so tree trimming and making capital investments to build resilience into our system. And as part of that process, there are a lot of interveners, consumer groups, the Attorney General, as you mentioned, and others. And that's all part of the process of how the regulatory system works, where we make a case for the investments we want to make, and then other interveners get to weigh in, and ultimately there's the right answer for Michigan.
Yeah, because this one, at least to some, seems like it came pretty close on the heels of the previous one. So it was a little bit surprising, I guess.
In Michigan, it's pretty common that the utilities are going in on an annual basis because the needs of the system, as far as the aging infrastructure on our gas system and improving reliability on our electric system, it's pretty common that we go in on a regular basis to justify new capital investments and allow other interveners to weigh in on it.
All right, last question. I know this is a little out of your area, but Consumers has a plan to be fossil fuel free. I think renewables by 2035. Is that right? How are we doing? How are you doing?
2040.
2040. How are you doing getting there?
Yes. We're doing great. 2040. Our plan for 2040 is net zero. So that effectively means a combination of retiring some of our coal plants, some of which have been retired already and others have remaining dates, building new renewable. We already got start to see a lot more solar coming on our system in the next 4 or 5 years. And then one of the biggest things is really our commitment to energy efficiency. So getting more and more customers to take action on their side and be able to reduce the demand on our system. As of right now, we're hitting all the marks. Just like I mentioned, our regulatory process, we do have every 3 years, we update that plan. So we'll be updating that plan again this year. But we are deeply committed to being net zero by 2040.
Do you ever see the day, Brian, where you'll be total fossil fuel free? Won't you have to have some plants for backup?
There's a lot. Obviously, there's a lot of learnings coming out of Texas. Even their fossil plants didn't really weather the winter that they experienced. But effectively, if you look at our net zero 2040 plan, there is still a lot that's dependent on new technologies to emerge or potentially carbon offsets. So having some fossil plants in the ground, doing some sort of carbon offsetting or carbon sequestration. So we've done a lot of research and development, and we continue to read on things like, could you sequester some of the carbon? Could you do more offsets? Or are there going to be breakthroughs in battery storage? So there is still more technology that's required to get there. But we feel pretty good about the bulk of the plan getting there on renewables and energy efficiency.
Well, I appreciate your time this morning. We'll remind everybody again, if you're having problems with your energy bills, call 211. Find out how you might get some help. Brian, as always, thanks for chatting with us this morning.
Thanks for helping us get the word out, Art. Have a great day.
You bet. Bye-bye now. Brian Rich at Consumers. He's a Senior Vice President and the Chief Customer Officer, and we thank him for his time this morning. We'll move into our open line phase now. Whatever you'd like to chat about for the remainder of the hour. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. If you're outside the state of Michigan, add the area code 989-752-6111. Inside the state of Michigan, you can use 866-790-WSGW. And we'll be back after these notes.
Hi, this is Jessica. Are you ready to earn more with a certificate of deposit from United Financial Credit Union? For a limited time, you can earn 1% APY for 39 months with our double step-up CD. This CD allows you to step up your rate when rates increase. Contact us today for more information or to get started.
United Financial Credit Union. Serving the thousands of you.
Not a member? Why not? The staff is friendly, the service is great, and we've got money to lend. Opening an account has never been easier. Just visit our website to open your new account today.
APY equals annual percentage yield. Federally insured by the NCUA. Rate subject to change.
We're where you were. United Financial Credit Union. Serving the Valley community.
While we've been staying safe at home, scientists have been on a journey. The destination, a COVID-19 vaccine. This journey began decades ago with research into other coronaviruses. Scientists built from there with months of research and development, cooperation with other experts worldwide, and clinical trials on tens of thousands of volunteers of diverse race, age, and health status. They arrived at a safe, effective vaccine. And hundreds of thousands in Michigan have already been vaccinated. But the next step is ours. We need to get the vaccine when we can. Keep wearing masks correctly and taking precautions until we reach our destination, freedom from COVID-19, and get lives we love. Discover the facts for yourself at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street mixed at the opening bell, with the Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ trying to build on yesterday's all-time highs. Investors keeping an eye on the Federal Reserve, which kicks off a two-day policy meeting today. A pause for consumers in February as retail sales fell 3% after soaring the month before, up a revised 7.6% in January from its previously reported increase of 5.3%. Americans spent less last month, partly because bad weather in parts of the country kept shoppers away from stores. But economists expect retail sales to rise again this month as many Americans get $1,400 direct payments, part of the $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief package that was signed into joins Germany, France, Italy, and Spain, halting the use of AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine as a precautionary measure. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Sal Giangrasso, invested in you.
I'm Rocky Moselle with StarRegistry.com. Since we were children, we've been told to reach for the stars. It was great advice. Now it's a great gift. Name a star after someone. For $54 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com, we will name a star after someone very special to you and send an incredible personalized gift. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Call the Star Registry, 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com for the hottest gift.
Northeastern Paint Supply invites you to listen to the WSGW Focus Show with Art Lewis. Weekday mornings from 11 to 11:30. You'll hear local business and community leaders. Sponsored by Northeastern Paint Home, Saginaw, and Bay City.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271. And we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. That's 800-990-6271.
Since Election Day, more than 5 million people have downloaded the Newsmax TV app on their smartphone. It's free, and you can watch Newsmax right away. Newsmax is on all major cable systems, smart TVs, Roku, YouTube, Zumo, and Pluto. So go to Newsmax.com for the latest news and get the Newsmax TV app to watch Sebastian Gorka, Dick Morris, Greg Kelly, Diamond and Silk, Michelle Malkin, and Mike Huckabee. Everyone is talking about Newsmax. App now.
The 2-2, swing and a miss. He got him with a high fastball. End of the night for Skubal. Ends with an exclamation point.
Boy, what a pitch.
The countdown is on. 16 days until opening day. WSGW is your station for the Tigers.
Welcome back here on WSGW. The Art Lewis Show, and to our phones. Alan is in Saginaw. Alan, good morning to you.
Yes. All right, this is Alvin. How are you?
Alvin, how are you, friend?
I'm good, man. I'm calling at the Saginaw superintendent. But what's going on with the buildings? Do you have any idea what's groundbreaking? I knew that there was some loan that went through that got us that much closer to actually starting the project. I know they were in the planning stages at one time. Do you have any information on that?
Well, what happened was they actually found that they were able to, they were offered a lot more money than they actually needed. The market came to them, so their funding was in place a lot quicker than they expected. Where they are exactly in the process right now, I'm guessing it's in the design phases, but I don't know that for sure. But you bring up a good point. Maybe we'll try and get the superintendent on to bring us up to date on it.
I know when he was on there last time, he had this, I thought it was almost an unrealistic time of actually having the project done. I think he's only been 2 or 3 years. Or something like that.
2024, I think, is what they were looking at.
Which I thought was really...
Well, actually... It might not be that, they got the money in place. It might not be that unrealistic. They can let the contracts out and the work begins. First, you got to get it designed, though, obviously. And then
and that process probably takes a year, doesn't it?
You got to get it designed and approved and all of that and find your contractors. But once you do that, maybe 2 years to build.
I just think that's going to be a great project for the kids, also for the community. And I would love. I voted for it, and I'm hoping that they can get that done.
Well, you know what's
I
I got to tell you, Alvin, I'm amazed at what happened with that, because when I first, even when I had the superintendent on and we were talking about this $100 million proposal, I'm saying to myself, okay, that's the first effort. Nobody's going to vote for that. And then they'll reduce it down to a reasonable level. When that vote came in almost 2-1 in favor of that proposal, I said there's been a sea change in the thought process in the city of Saginaw for the better.
Yeah, I agree. Just talking to people, I think the community does care about the kids, and not only do they care about the kids, I think just the whole aesthetic of having something in that area down going to help enormously. That's just my opinion.
Well, I think they had to resolve some problems too. I mean, they had to resolve the high school issues, and I think they've done it in a way that is acceptable to most everybody. Now, the next big question. Here's the next big question, Alvin. What do you name the high school?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
The one I've heard come forward a lot is Saginaw United. I like that.
No, that's I like that too. I think that speaks well of both schools coming together. I know a lot of I was concerned about these two schools have been rivals for literally decades.
Yep.
Now they're going to be one. That's kind of a neat idea. What would the mascot be, though?
We'd have to work on that. We'll work on that one. All right, Alvin. All right, my friend. Drive carefully. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Yeah, Alvin. I've known Alvin a long time. He was involved in drum corps when my kids were involved in drum corps. And he has a talent. He never followed through as a profession. But what an artist. This man with pen and pencil could do drawings. We have some drawings of Alvin's here in the house of owls that he did that were absolutely out of this world. I mean, just unbelievable. And one of the neatest individuals you'll ever meet. Joe is in Bay City, so he's next. Joe, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. How's everything today?
Everything's good.
All right, very well. I got a little opinion here to remark on daylight saving time that you talked about a few days ago.
Sure.
I'm in favor of it, but I want 2 hours, not 1 hour.
Oh, you want double daylight savings time, huh?
I want double daylight saving time. That's right. I'm a sleeper, and I like to stay up at night. Anyway,
listen, I would not argue with that if it ever happened. I got to tell you, I would not argue with that. But I will tell you this. I will tell you this. Depending where you are in the world, it can really play havoc with your sleep cycle. If you've ever been up into Canada and the Northwest and Alaska, where they have these long, long days, it can really screw you up. I was on a train. I was on a train from Vancouver to Jasper a couple of years ago, and for some reason I woke up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was bright out. I'm going, wait a minute, what's wrong with this picture?
Well, my wife, she does not like daylight saving time, and I have to change about 20 clocks between the house and the garage and the cars and everything.
Yep.
So, but anyway, enough of that. Let me get to the main topic, if you will.
Sure.
I want to reference your 12 o'clock lineup with the three gentlemen there, and a previous caller who complained that they were very negative. I feel sorry for that person. I believe he's lost his soul ever since he hasn't had Trump to bash anymore. And it's true. I mean, your callers, people, me or anybody else, you listen to people and you kind of get a feel for things a little bit. Anyway, so he was negative about them, and I found him refreshing. I listen to him at night periodically because usually I'm inside watching TV. But I think they cover so many good topics that you don't really hear too much about. They put humor into it, and I think they're a fresh breath of fresh air. And I will say this about your previous caller: you said it was always negative, but again, when Trump was president, I don't believe he ever had one positive thing to say about Donald Trump.
Yeah, everything on the other side was negative. Yeah. That's
fits him.
It's the way of the world. It's the way of the world.
And anyway, we like him, and
Good.
you know where you're getting with Russia. Conservatism. That's fine, but I mean, he had his agenda. Where these guys, I mean, they'll sports, entertainment, politics.
They do it all.
On it, make a laugh a little bit.
Yep, absolutely.
So we like him, and again, I feel sorry for that particular caller. I think
that's
he
all
needs
right.
to get a.
He's got his viewpoints just like everybody else. So, all right.
Okay, well, that's all
Good
I
enough.
want to say.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks for calling.
Great day.
Yep, you too. Bye-bye
Okay.
now. Just in case you missed it, when you talk about lineup changes, with the passing of Rush, it opens up the 3 to 6 period on many, many radio stations around the country. And we were carrying a show in the evening, Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins, which is live broadcast from noon to 3. So it was an easy choice to move the show Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins to noon to 3 on WSGW, which then opened up the 7 to 10 slot, which allowed us to bring back Tom Sullivan. So we have Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins from noon to 3, Hannity from 3 to 6, our news block till 7, and then Tom Sullivan. So, I really think, given the passing of Rush, this gives us the best of both worlds. So we hope you enjoy it. And listen, not everyone appeals to everyone. I don't appeal to everybody. Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins won't appeal to everybody. Hannity doesn't appeal to everybody. Tom Sullivan doesn't appeal to everybody. Nobody does. Particularly when you spend a certain amount of time talking about controversial issues. People tend to hear what they believe. They don't like listening to what they don't believe. And that's the nature of the beast. We all recognize that. It's part of it. Part of the talk industry, if you will. All right, lines are open for you. And give us a call, chat with us. We'll take a break. More coming up on the Art Lewis Show.
Small business owners don't have the patience for nonsense, especially when it comes to their best services for the best price. Simply put, that's Spectrum Business. They give you great value, zero nonsense. Just call 833-919-2121. You'll get fast, reliable internet and phone with no contracts and no hidden fees. All for a price that could cut your bill in half. Spectrum Business. Call today, 833-919-2121.
This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson Ricky LeBlanc, admitted in Massachusetts only. Sokolov Law, LLC, Chestnut Hill, Mass. Paul J. Morgan, Winter Park, Florida. Greg Hobby, New Jersey. Michael Bro Gonzalez, admitted Louisiana. While this firm maintains joint responsibility, most cases of this type are referred to other attorneys for principal responsibility. What mesothelioma is. You or someone you love has likely been affected by this devastating cancer. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Sokolov Law today. 1-800-578-2400. The only known cause of mesothelioma is asbestos exposure. Thousands of U.S. veterans and trade workers are at risk for the disease. Nearly $30 billion in court-ordered trusts has been set aside to pay money to asbestos victims. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call now. You may be able to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Call for a free legal consultation at 1-800-578-2400. That's 1-800-578-2400. 1-800-578-2400.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
I have 2 dogs, Sam and Bailey. Both are golden retrievers. Poor Sam, he was a mess. All paws were soaking wet all day from just constant licking. He had bald spots on his back. I just don't like putting shots and steroids into your dog all the time. DINOVITE.com. Dynovite is nutrition. Probably 2 weeks after he started Dynovite, I started seeing great improvements, and today 99% of his issues are non-existent. It's amazing stuff. Since Bailey has been 12 weeks old, he's been a Dynovite dog, and he has 0 issues today. He won't eat his food without Dynovite. When I get out the Dynovite, my dog actually salivates, like I'm getting the over it. Dynovite is the best thing you can do for your dog.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dynovite from DINOVITE.com.
Tom Sullivan, weeknights at 7 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. On air and online from the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Back to our phones. Errol is in Saginaw. Errol, good morning.
Do you require a lot of sleep?
No.
I'm just asking. Okay.
No.
Oh, God, but you and I are in the same boat. I very seldom go to bed before 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up at 5:30 every day. I've always been that way.
I'm better than that, but I can get along with less. Let's put it that way if I have to, and sometimes I do.
I refuse to lay in bed and be awake. If I got to lay there in bed, I'm going to get up and do something, and I've always been that way. But anyways, let's talk about your new format. I don't know whether I like the 3 guys that come on. I kind of enjoyed them somewhat yesterday. I'm going to give them a chance. They're different. I've never heard of them before, but I sure am happy that you brought Tom Sullivan back, because I've talked to him on occasion, but him being a state cop and some of the stuff that he's run into. But I think he's really enjoyable.
Yeah, I like Tom.
Yeah.
Well, we think alike, and that's one of the reasons I like him so much is we kind of think alike in a lot of ways.
He thinks like you do? That's scary.
No, I think like he does.
Oh, okay. That's all I've got to say for today, sir.
All right, Errol. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye. And let's talk to Judy in Freeland. Judy, good morning.
Good morning. I'm going to be the opposite. I think that new program that's on is just horrible, especially at the time that it is in the afternoon. These men are saying shut up to each other, all the things we try to teach our kids not to use. I think it's just, I don't know. After Charlie leaves in the morning, I very seldom listen to your show anymore, too, because to me, you have changed a lot.
I've changed a lot? Ooh.
Yep.
How have I changed?
Just like what you're doing now. Usually people will ask you a question, and you'll answer a question with a question. You won't say, I don't know what it is, but just the way you say things. I haven't written things down right now, but I just thought, oh, my gosh, I've got to give my opinion. The other thing I have to find out, why why are two commercials covering one over the other so often during the day now? I mean, there'll be a commercial, and then there'll be another commercial right over the top of it.
Yeah, that's a technical issue. You're right. Matter of fact, I heard that yesterday.
Yeah, it was today too.
I heard one commercial playing twice over itself, and that's a technical issue they have to look at in the computer system, because everything today in broadcasting across the board nationally is all computerized.
Well, you know, with your station, I think that your station has always been my favorite, but lately, since it's changed over to this new company that bought it or whatever happened, I think you guys have degraded yourself. You're down a lower notch in my book anyway.
Well, I'm sorry to hear you say that. Fortunately, the ratings don't prove that. But
no, because I wonder who is calling in the ratings. I wonder what it's hard for me to believe that a lot of people have not changed from your station. I've heard them on there calling in and stuff, and I haven't said anything, but I just thought today, I just am in the mood to say what I really feel. I feel that I'm very much in line with Carl on so many of the subjects that he says. I know that he's right on a lot of things. And
well, that would definitely explain why you don't like some of the programming. And I understand that. Absolutely understand that.
Yep. I wish it could get back to the old days that one was.
Well, everything changes.
That will never happen.
No, you're right, Judy. Change is inevitable in everything.
Yep, it's too bad. It's too bad it had to be lowered like this.
Well, lowered. Remember now, lowered is a point of view.
I know, but you've already received a lot of calls of people that have said that they have found this show at 1 o'clock till 3. These guys arguing and saying things that aren't supposed to be on at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's say that. So we have to change our stations. Okay, that's my opinion right now.
Glad you called.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Judy. Bye-bye now.
Okay, bye-bye.
It's under the heading, you can't please everybody all of the time. That's the nature of the beast. We'll take a quick break. Come back. We'll get to Mark. But regarding Judy's comment about a commercial playing over a commercial, apparently yesterday we had a technical upgrade, which was causing some of those problems, but they are aware of it. And we'll get back to Mark right after this break here on WSGW.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not. Struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms. It might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
The time has come to ask attorney Jerry Reif another question or two. First of all, a power of attorney. Is that enough for my estate plan?
Many people think having a power of attorney or a will is all the estate planning they need. While these two legal documents are important, they may not be enough for an effective estate plan.
Well, why is that, Jerry?
Well, let's look at what each of these documents actually do.
Okay.
A will is a letter to the probate court identifying who gets your personal and financial belongings, which is important after you pass away. A legal or financial power of attorney grants authority to someone else to make these decisions for you while you're alive.
Why isn't that enough then?
Well, first, it's essential to also have a medical directive, which grants authority to a person you trust to make healthcare decisions on your behalf when you can't. Second, a will all your assets. Third, depending on each individual situation, you may need all of the above plus one or more trusts or limited liability companies.
Thanks, Jerry. If you want more information, register for an upcoming workshop. Visit jerryreiflawyer.com or call 989-790-1461 today.
Jim Wilson, are customers surprised to find such a big selection of used vehicles here at Midland Ford Lincoln?
I've had many people tell me this is the best selection of used cars and trucks they've seen in Michigan, not just in quantity, but in the quality of our vehicles.
You seem to have the cars and trucks everyone is looking for. Hard to find models you'd expect to find only in classified ads by private parties.
Our volume sales means customers always have a bigger selection of better quality cars. Our minimum pricing policy means Midland Ford customers always pay less.
But better doesn't mean more expensive. You have cars and trucks in every price and payment range, even for the tightest budgets.
From inexpensive basic transportation to late model luxury and trucks, we have what you're looking for. We currently have more tough Ford trucks and used Escapes and Explorers than we've ever had in our history.
America's falling in love with Ford, and you have a personal invitation to find out why today at Midland Ford Lincoln, your savings store.
It's time for planting season. And at Nutrien Ag Solutions, we're ready, leading the field with the largest selection of top-performing corn and soybean seed brands. Get the most out of your acres by partnering with our local crop consultants who can provide custom recommendations and services for your specific field conditions. Choose from top-performing seed brands by visiting nutrienagsolutions.com or your local retail location today.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and let's go to Mark in Tawas. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
We're doing well. Hope you are.
Hey, they do make podcasts out there. If Carl wanted to start a podcast, I'm sure Carl could listen in on that. There's options out there.
Certainly are.
Like the lineup that you, and I do like the lineup that you guys went to. No problems here. One thing, Pisaki yesterday was looking for solutions at the, not called crisis at the border, just something going on at the border. But my thoughts are, if we took the fence down and we took all the troops that are around the Capitol and put the fence back up going down along the border, and then put the troops along the border, that could be one solution.
I like that.
just trying to help. What are your thoughts on the? What are your thoughts on the lady in Iowa that potentially could get her seat taken away? She won by 6 votes, but Pelosi's trying to overturn that. I thought it was certified.
As far as I know, it was. I'm not familiar with the story. I'll have to look. I don't know. It's politics. I shake my head anymore at what happens in politics.
Right.
Pelosi would object if it went the other way, but she'd be happy to take away 6 here. I don't know. I worry that politics is so out of hand that we're going to find it hard to get back to a time when we do what's right for the country. And that worries me. That worries me. So I'll have to look that up, though. I don't know.
Yep, no problem.
All right,
sir. Have a good one.
Hey, you too, Mark. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now.
Yep.
And in Bay City, we find Jerry this morning. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
We're doing all right. Hope you are.
An old-time radio guy. I've been listening to talk radio my entire life. I go back to J.P. McCarthy.
Oh, my.
I miss in the morning. Larry King at night.
Yep.
I like Rush Limbaugh. He was great at what he did, but I would get tired of him. But I like Markley, Van Camp, and Robinson. In fact, I was streaming them months ago. I found a station that they were on that I could pick up and stream them. I've been listening to them for quite some time, and I think they're pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I think they're entertaining.
I don't know what old Carl did for the last 4 or 5 years, because there was nothing but negativity every day, 24/7 coming from the other side. The reason I like the guys and some of the alternative people, not people like Sean Hannity, but it's a case of the emperor's new clothes. I mean, they point out the irony and make it laughable, because you have to laugh, because otherwise you'd cry.
Well, that's you pointed out something interesting. It's one of the reasons that some of the talk shows have succeeded, is because they figured out how to entertain as well as be controversial. Rush was a master of it. He invented it, and others have come along with their own brand and their own style. And that's the nature of the beast. It's something that's not great for everybody and great for others.
I would, there are people who have never respected Limbaugh's intelligence. People on the left typically, but I can tell you this: you made some comments this morning about people not returning to their office jobs.
Yep.
Having the experience with COVID. Rush Limbaugh, back in probably April of last year, said, "Here's what's going to happen in New York, folks.
Mm-hmm.
All this high-priced office real estate.
Yep.
Guess what? They're going to discover they don't have to pay those high rents because a majority of their people can work from home."
That's what's happening.
I heard him say that. I didn't hear a lot of other people saying that.
That's what's happening. It's exactly what's happening. Yep. And, I think the key to it is that the people working from home are doing just that, working from home. They're not screwing off. Jobs are getting done. Efficiencies are being met. And so companies are saying, well, gee whiz, do we need to spend all this big money on walls and bricks and mortar when we can have these people work from their own house?
Exactly.
I don't know. I really don't know what the long-term outlook is. I think for the short term in the next couple of years, we're going to see a lot of that. I think, though, this is just my gut talking now. I think for the long term, years down the road, we are a social people. And I do believe that slowly but surely we will migrate back to offices eventually. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow.
I think your generation and my generation are social people. But when you look at the kids that are coming up now, they'll text one another while they're in the same room.
Maybe you take a peek at the beaches in Florida right now and change your mind.
Well, okay, but playing on the beach isn't working.
I understand that. I got you. Right. Hey, Jerry, I appreciate it. Thanks for calling, my friend. Take care. Bye-bye now. Yeah, I think, it's who knows what the long-term future is going to be with all of this after COVID-19. It's hard to know. It's hard to know what the, quote, new normal will be. Let's take our last break, and then we'll be back to finish up the Art Lewis Show. And by the way, on Focus today, we're going to talk about Fat Matt's Barbecue. All that coming up.
Hi, this is Mary Ann from Warden Interiors of Frankenmuth. We have all been living through these challenging times and readjusting our way of doing our everyday tasks. At Warden Interiors, we remember the simpler times when you could pull into a gas and clean your windows. If you long for that type of service again, it can be found at Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. From the moment you step through our front door, you will again get that all-inclusive experience. Your ideas can easily be brought to life by our knowledgeable design team and installed by our own expert installers. Whatever your dreams are, from floors to counters, ceramic to draperies or blinds, we at Warden Interiors pride ourselves on making all your home and business improvements feel like that simpler time in life. So please be sure to stop into Warden Interiors today and enjoy your all-inclusive experience, as we can help you every step of the way. Warden Interiors on North Main Street in Frankenmuth will help you bring it all together.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter Radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app. Connect with your favorite radio shows through contests, social media, and podcasts. Create custom alarms with your favorite radio stations, all free with the radio.com app.
To talk about Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea? That smooth taste of real brewed tea with just the right kick of alcohol. Well, we started already. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for it in the bright yellow cans.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show, going after Andrew Cuomo is now spin the woke wheel racist. Okay, I admit I didn't see that one coming.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
And back with you in the final moment of the Art Lewis Show. Got an email with some quips in it. I love these. Listen to some of these. John Travolta tested negative for coronavirus last night. Turns out it was just Saturday night fever. Oh, my goodness. Intelligence is like underwear. It's important that you have it, but it's not necessary that you show it off. Ooh, all right. More. We'll save more for down the road. Meantime, stick around. We've got CBS News coming at the top of the hour, and then the local report bringing you up to date on the Great Lakes Bay region. And then we'll talk to Matt from Fat Max Barbecue. Coming up. All of that on Focus. We'll talk to you right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kathan. It's a new day in Mississippi, the second state to make all adults eligible for the COVID vaccine.
I think that would be great for the Mississippi so we can get back to some kind needed.
And Moderna says it's testing the effectiveness of its vaccine in children as young as 6 months old. New York pediatrician Diane Hess says it's an important step.
I know that a lot of the participants in these studies are the children of physicians because they have access to the hospitals. They're coming to the hospital frequently already to go to work. So it's easier for these scientists or physicians to bring their kids back for these really frequent amount of testing.
Emma Cook is with a European watchdog group that says the benefits of the AstraZeneca vaccine outweigh the risks. It's been linked to blood clots. Some countries have stopped using it.
Our experts are working tirelessly to carry out this assessment as quickly as possible, but it needs a scientific evaluation. We need to have the facts first. We cannot come to a conclusion until we've done a thorough scientific analysis.
Well, CBS News has confirmed 7,300 migrant children were transferred last month into a network of shelters run by a refugee group. CBS's Maria Villarreal.
The level of desperation that you're seeing, not just from these children, but also from the moms, the parents, it's something that we've never experienced before. And on the flip side of that, working with a lot of these officers, you see this helplessness in their face as well. I mean, the best they can do with so many people coming through right now is push them towards a staging area.
The maker of OxyContin plans to funnel profits into stopping the opioid crisis under a $10 billion plan submitted to a bankruptcy judge. Members of the Sackler family who own Purdue Pharma would pay more than $4 billion. In the midst of the pandemic and the advice to stay home, CBS's Allison Providence home buyers reacted.
The National Association of Realtors says millennials continue to make up the largest share of first-time home buyers. Its study also finds that 18% of those buying homes between the ages of 41 to 65 bought a home that can house adult siblings, adult children, parents, or grandparents.
Well, CBS This Morning's Gail King says she spoke over the weekend with Harry and Meghan, a follow-up to their revealing interview with Oprah.
Harry has talked to his brother, and he has talked to his father, too. The word I was given was that those conversations were not productive, but they are glad that they have at least started a conversation.
Harry's grandfather, 99-year-old, from a London hospital today after 4 weeks of treatment. Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 151 points. NASDAQ is up 137. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look. It works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Hi, it's Steve Mann. Have you heard the commercials for the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking seminars? And they said only $49.99 and it could work for you. So I thought, that's not even a week's worth of smoking. So I went. And guess what? It did work for me. You know, my friends and family are still amazed. I quit smoking. I didn't have cravings, anxiety, or weight gain. Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof, and it's 100% guaranteed. I'll tell you what you got to lose, a very bad habit.
Stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Only $49.99 guaranteed. Hypnosis designed to work without anxiety, irritability, or weight gain. Join Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar and lose the weight or stop smoking for only $49.99 guaranteed or your money back. Because of coronavirus, the seminar is now online, live Thursday, March 18th or Saturday, March 20th for the Saginaw area. Details at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Switch to T-Mobile for Business and get up to 90 days of service free via virtual rebate on your business plan. You get this 5G network and first-class benefits like Microsoft 365 on us. It's better for business and only with T-Mobile for Business. Limited time offer. Stop in store for details. Plus taxes and fees for some plans. Virtual Express MasterCard within 8 weeks of receipt of valid submission. Complete port within 60 days. See T-Mobile.com for 5G devices, coverage, and plan details.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 31 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. Attorney General Dana Nessel says she will not investigate the governor's nursing home policies during the pandemic. Her announcement comes after several senators wrote a letter requesting an investigation into Governor Whitmer's processes and policies for nursing homes. The accuracy of COVID-19 reporting data, compliance with CDC guidelines, and compliance with the State Freedom of Information Act. Nessel says the concerns did not warrant the opening of an investigation by her office. She previously investigated allegations surrounding a state contract for COVID-19 contact tracing. The findings were released in a report which explained how criminal charges were unfounded. Nessel and Consumers Energy have launched a public campaign to make sure all Michiganders know about and access tens of millions in federal, state, and local dollars to help pay winter heating bills. People who are struggling with energy bills should call 211, a free service that connects people with nonprofit agencies in communities across the state. They can also go to the 211 website. Since last fall, Consumers Energy has provided $15 million to help customers pay bills. Ford and the University of Michigan today opened a $75 million facility to create the robots of the future. Jeff Gilbert has more in this report.
Ford engineers will team up with U of M researchers to work on robots that walk, fly, and augment the human body. Ford's chief technical officer, Ken Washington, says there are a lot of uses for these robots.
Assisting drivers with advanced driver assist technologies, augmenting commercial vehicle and last mile robots that do package delivery, assisting them with their tasks on the commercial vehicle, like loading packages.
The Ann Arbor Robotics Lab will be at the western end of a mobility corridor that starts with a redone train station in downtown Detroit. Jeff Gilbert, the Michigan News Network.
WSGW News Time is 11:07.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
WSGW News Time is 11:07. If you've been working from home for the past year, you may be heading back to the office soon, but it's also causing a lot of anxiety for some, according to marriage and family therapist Carrie Krywitz of the Birmingham Maple Clinic.
They feel a lot of anxiety about what will be expected of them, and what they would do if, say, they were in a situation that causes them more fear. So I think there was like a real loss of momentum and a change of pace for people. And now the thought of going back and resuming that activity level feels very stressful and daunting.
Kraywick recommends offsetting that anxiety with positive thoughts about sprucing yourself up and seeing some colleagues to say hello. State officials say Michigan residents can now begin registering for COVID vaccine shots at Ford Field. FEMA is running the vaccination clinic that will officially open March 24th. Officials say that after you register, you'll either receive a voicemail or a text when it's time to schedule an appointment. FEMA officials say they hope to vaccinate today when the site is up and running for about 8 weeks. If you're looking for one of the best places to live, you don't have to go very far. Ann Arbor has taken the number 6 spot on Niche's annual list of the best cities to live in America. The neighborhood website gives Ann Arbor top marks for public schools, nightlife, diversity, outdoor recreation, and jobs. It did receive a few negative points for cost of living and weather. Other Michigan cities making the list include Grand Rapids at number 72, Lansing at number 136, and Warren at number 169. A Sault Ste. Marie teacher has been arraigned on criminal sexual conduct charges with one of his students in Chippewa County. Timothy Strader teaches technical education and automotive classes at the high school. He faces 4 counts involving sexual conduct with a student under the age of 18. Strader have yet to comment. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see mostly cloudy skies here for your day today with a high into the lower 40s. Winds out of the northeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for tonight, partly cloudy sky conditions, a low around 29. By Wednesday, mostly sunny skies. We'll see high around 51. And on Thursday, a chance for rain and snow mixing early, then becoming all rain showers with cloudy skies, a high around 44. By Friday, mostly sunny sky conditions, a high around 40 degrees. And on Saturday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, a high around 51. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 31.
Now, as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is brought to you by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
And a good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. I've been looking forward to this one for some time now. The name of the company fascinates me. Fat Matt's Barbecue is the name of the company. And with us is the owner, Matt Poirier. And Matt, first of all, how do I pronounce your last name? I said Poirier. How close am I?
You pronounce it like most everybody does.
And how do you pronounce it?
Poirier, but
Poirier
is French, in which yes, yep.
Yeah. We the tendency is to look at it and think French.
Exactly.
So Matt, I've seen a picture of you. I don't think Fat Matt is quite right. Well endowed, okay, but how did the name come about?
Yeah. Well, it's actually one of the first names that I thought of when I was trying to come up with a name for the business. It just kind of, they say never trust the skinny cooks. Went hand in hand, and that's what we went with.
How'd you get into the barbecue industry? Have you always been a barbecuer?
No, not always. I've always grilled and cooked and stuff like that growing up. And right around 22 years ago, a buddy of mine had a barbecue company, and he traveled all over doing competitions.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started going with him and got me interested and learned a lot of the ropes from him, and kind of just went out on my own one day.
Are you a competition barbecuer? Do you go out to do competitions?
I have done many competitions all over the U.S., from Florida to Vegas to Reno. Local ones, Bay City used to have a pig gig.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I remember that.
Yep. So, yeah, I've done quite a few competitions.
There's an old show on one of the cable channels. It's been around a long time, the Pitmasters, Barbecue Pitmasters, and it's all competitive barbecue. There is a lot of it in this country. There is an awful lot of it in this country.
Yeah, there absolutely is a lot of it.
Well,
it's a good time, you know.
But you've kind of established a thing with a food truck too, and I'm wondering, you know, here we are in 2021. We came through 2020, one of the worst years anybody can remember. How did COVID impact the food truck industry?
Well, there's a few different variations. You know, first of all, you got to think of all the festivals and large events like concerts that a lot of the food trailers and trucks would go to and do well at. Well, then when COVID hit and everything started getting canceled, we just kind of had to make a transition and do other things like setting up in car dealership parking lots, or, you know, just various places and try to figure things out and make things work to get through the year.
Yeah, at least you could do that. You didn't have a bricks and mortar restaurant you had to shut down.
Yeah, and that was, and I feel horrible for them because they've had a horrible year. But, you know, a lot of them as well have figured ways around some of it to make it through the year. But unfortunately, I believe there's a few that aren't going to make it, which is very unfortunate.
So I've seen some of your food on other menus, and I'll give you a perfect example. I'm going up for lunch today to Mode's Tavern in Bay City, and I noticed on the menu there was a Fat Matt's barbecue chicken. Is that yours?
Yeah. So what they do is they use our barbecue sauce.
Ah.
They make their own flatbread, but they put our barbecue sauce. Actually, there's a few restaurants that have done that, and they just use, you know, our barbecue sauce. It's my recipe, and it's just that's what they do, and it seems to work out very well. That flatbread pizza is very delicious.
And I assume I could beg, grovel, get down on both knees, and you're not going to give me your recipe.
Well, I'll give you a bottle of sauce.
Okay, that's good. That's a good start. There you go. There you go. So how long has Fat Matt's been in existence now? When did you first actually start the company where you have a food truck?
Well, I started probably about 8 years ago. Started just doing like weddings and graduations and stuff like that. The food trailer itself, I only started about a year and a half ago, just before the pandemic, which kind of sent me into shock once the pandemic happened. But we made it through, and we're doing fine. And then the sauce and dry up we started about 3 years ago, and we saw that in various places. Like Norm's Market in Richville and JB's Market in Munger and Ricker's Market on 13. We're as far north as Sini, Michigan, up in UP.
So do you have a fixed location, or if we want to find you, we have to follow the truck?
Yeah, we don't necessarily have a fixed location. We try to travel around to give up people a variation. I believe that if you stay in the same location time after time, the people kind of get burnt out on you. And I try to travel around and get it to different people. And we're on Facebook, obviously. And what we do is we schedule a month ahead of time as to where we're going to be and keep posting on there so people can see where we're going to be if they want to come check us out.
All right, we're going to talk about some of the food you put out in just a minute here. I've got to take a break, though. Talking to Matt Poirier from Fat Matt's Barbecue. More ahead.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, Fireplace Doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
When it comes to finances, does it ever feel like you're all alone with lots of questions and too few answers? Maybe it's time to find a credit union home, excited about you through life, where you belong, and connect with local folks who know you as more than an account number, who answer your questions before you even ask, and are passionate about your possibilities, flexible about changing and growing right alongside you, trustworthy like a friend or neighbor. Belonging at Wildfire Credit Union means your money stays right in your own backyard, helping to build this community so we all live fully. If you're an individual or business looking for a place that truly cares about people, relationships, and community more than money, we welcome you to join Wildfire. You belong here. Together. Let's do this. Credit Union, distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
The Saginaw Children's Zoo will be opening for the season on Wednesday, April 21st. Take a wild adventure to the Saginaw Children's Zoo. Say hello to all your feathered, scaly, and furry animal friends and get some much-needed fresh air. The Saginaw Children's Zoo can't wait to see you. Visit SaginawZoo.com for details.
Saginaw Children's Zoo. How do you do?
Receive a $5 rebate by trading up a Exergen temporal scanner purchased at any retailer. Fever is a leading symptom of COVID, and using an accurate thermometer has never been more critical. In published studies, no-touch thermometers miss more fevers than they detect. While the new COVID vaccines are becoming more widely available, it is important to make sure you are protected. Monitor for fever with an accurate thermometer backed by more than 80 published peer-reviewed clinical studies. Details at Exergen.com, where accuracy matters.
As a dentist, I know what my patients are saying.
Mm-hmm.
She says her gums are irritated.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you can do? You can try new Crest Advanced Gum Restore. It detoxifies below the gum line to restore just 7 days.
You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show on Focus, talking to Matt Poirier from Fat Matt's Barbecue. So Matt, let's talk about the food you put out. What types of barbecue are you doing these days?
Oh, we try to keep quite a variety. We do, and then beef brisket, pulled pork. We also have a mac and cheese. We do what we call a mac and cheese parfait, which have been very popular. It's mac and cheese with some pulled pork on top with some barbecue sauce.
Oh,
which is a little different, and people seem to just love them.
Let me ask,
we also do brats.
If you travel around the country, you've got Texas style barbecue, you've got Carolina style barbecue, you got Kansas City style, you got Memphis style, and they're all different. Is Michigan's barbecue any different?
Yeah, I believe so. Their own little different variety. One of the things is what wood you use to smoke with. A lot of people don't realize it, but whatever wood you use to smoke with, it does change the flavor of the food. And we have quite a bit of maple around here, sugar maple in particular, which I particularly like. The wild cherry is very, very flavorful. That's not readily available in a lot of other states.
So what's your preference? And do you mix your woods when you fire your smoker? Do you mix your woods?
I do sometimes. Just depends on what mood I'm in. I predominantly use the sugar maple, but sometimes I do get some apple and I'll mix that in. So it just depends on what I'm doing and what I'm in the mood for.
If I told you could only cook one meat today, what would it be?
Oh, for you guys or for myself? One meat would probably be, the most popular is probably pulled pork, but I really like doing brisket, and I really like doing ribs too. Those are my two favorites.
Yeah, and I would agree. I would absolutely agree, particularly ribs. So are your ribs fall off the bone, or do they have a little tug to them?
Just a little bit of tuck, which is the way they should be.
That's the way they should be.
Everybody likes them to fall off the bone. But again, talked about competitions earlier.
Yep.
That's actually one of the things that you're supposed to have when judges taste your ribs. They want them to pull off the bone a little bit and not just fall off.
Yeah. That's it's all in the timing, isn't it?
Very much so. Timing, temperature. That's mainly what it is, and it's just a lot of babysitting. And as far as time goes, I mean, you do brisket, and you're talking so that you got to babysit that.
Oh yeah. Are we going to see a Fat Matt's barbecue cookbook someday?
Quite possibly. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure where this is going to lead me, but you never know. I guess the possibility's always there.
And so where will we find you, say, in the next couple of days?
Well, the next couple of days, I'm not going to open up until we're done with all this snow and roads. I don't want to spray my trailer with salt. So, but next month for sure, we're going to be opening up and starting to travel. I've already got a few places booked. One's going to be Tri-City Brewery towards the end. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be at Kenworth over on 81 at some point in time next month for sure.
That Tri-City Brewery is a good one because they don't have food. That's perfect for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it works well for both of us because people come in, they grab their food, they head inside, and they grab whatever they'd like to drink to go with the food, and everybody's happy. And, even some of the restaurants, like Mode's Tavern, Mr. and Mrs. Mode were kind enough to invite us over there this past year on a Sunday. And we put our food trailer up, and they went inside and ate their food or whatnot, and they gave their cooks the day off to kind of rest and relax. And, their customers appreciated that because it's a little change for them. It's a little mix-up,
Sounds wonderful. Can't wait to find you on the road and try some of your stuff. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Well, Matt, listen, I appreciate you calling in today, and we'll check with you down the road, particularly when you get the trailer out and you get the truck going. We'll find out where you are.
Maybe I have to ring by the station for you.
Oh, well, I'm at home, so that won't do me any good. Oh. but I'm sure they'd appreciate it. They'd appreciate it at the station, and I wouldn't stop you. I appreciate it. Matt, have yourself a great day. We'll talk to you down the road.
Thanks, sir. You have a great day too, and thanks for listening to us this morning.
Fat Matt's Barbecue on Facebook, right?
Yes, sir.
You got it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye-bye now.
You too. Bye-bye.
Matt Poirier from Fat Matt's Barbecue. We appreciate his time this morning. We'll take a break and be back and get ready to move on to the farm show.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
The Maytag store has appliances in stock. Yep, you heard right. The Maytag store, which has been locally owned and operated in the Great Lakes Bay region for over 70 years, has appliances in stock. If you're like most people right now, you've been pulling your hair out trying to find a replacement refrigerator or a washing machine to clean your clothes. Well, the Maytag store is here to help with in-stock appliances. They have refrigerators, washers, dryers, ranges, microwaves, and dishwashers, all in stock from Amana, Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid. Plus, did you know that the Maytag store has their own delivery crews? They can install it, and they have their own in-house parts and service department should your appliances ever need repair. The Maytag store invites you to come check out their selection at any one of their locations. In Saginaw at 3800 Tittabawassee Road, in Frankenmuth at 477 North Main Street, or at their brand new outlet store in Shields at 7400 Gratiot Road. Experience the Maytag store difference today.
Bader & Sons Company is your local John Deere dealer. We are here to help you farm Michigan. We offer replacement parts like filters, belts, and hoses for your equipment. You'll find them in store and online at greentractors.com. With John Deere program, combined with our trained parts pros, we can help you find the parts you need. Count on us to provide the service your equipment deserves in our 10 service shops or in the field. Let Bader & Sons Company show you why we have the service and the parts at the right price.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Okay, class, let's bump it up to 9.
Come on, Limu, keep pedaling. We got to build our endurance to let more people know that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Pick up the pace, bird legs.
Hey, don't talk to Limu like that.
I'm not.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
The 2-2, swing and a miss. He got him with a high fastball. End of the night for Skubal. Ends with an exclamation point.
Boy, what a pitch.
The countdown is on. 16 days until opening day. WSGW is your station for the Tigers. The Focus Show on WSGW. Brought to you by Northeastern Paint Supply in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply. Serving you since 1959.
And that'll do it for Focus. We'll be back tomorrow with more here on WSGW. Terry Henney's Farm Show, that's next here on WSGW. Bye-bye.
Jim Wilson, we've heard people talk about your volume discount pricing. Just what does that mean? How does it save me money on a new Ford Escape or an F-Series truck?
We try to sell our cars and trucks for as little as possible, not as much as possible.
You're saying volume sales spread your overhead costs and profit over more vehicles?
We'd rather sell 1,000 vehicles at $100 profit than 100 vehicles at $1,000 profit.
So that's why you have acres of new vehicles here.
That's why you'll find a bigger selection of Ford plus a complete line of Ford and Lincoln vehicles.
Is it true that dealers, even from other states, buy from you because of your inventory?
I can't comment on that. However, like always, we encourage everyone to shop and get the very best price of the Ford or Lincoln of their choice, and then let us show you what real savings are.
Everyone loves to save money, and right now, you can help yourself to thousands of dollars in savings and the best possible selection at Midland Ford Lincoln, your savings store.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Affordable and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife, Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. Smoked 2 packs a day and nothing worked until Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick Hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again. My blood pressure went down and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Stop smoking. Lose weight now without cravings, irritability, or your money back. Only $49.99 guaranteed. Join Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar and lose the weight or stop smoking for only $49.99 guaranteed or your money back. Because of the coronavirus, the seminar is now online live Thursday, March 18th or Saturday, March 20th for the Saginaw area. Details at markpatrickseminars.com. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Your nose is the body's air filter, the first line of defense against air
Now, the only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henney and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. A little bit on the damp side of things, especially the further north you get in the lower peninsula. A little slick around the Great Lakes Bay region. And some areas a little bit further north than that, some snow. As a matter of fact, the Houghton Lake area, Tawas, Harrisonville, Gladwin, Houghton Lake, Clare, Rose City, all picking up, anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of snow. But everybody else not looking at much of anything. We did have some snow on the back 40 in Richville that covered the grass. But then as we went through the morning, everything is pretty well melted off. Right now, we are currently still looking at the freezing mark, 32 at the airport, 33 here at Radio Center, downtown Midland, downtown Bay City, also looking at 32. And then we have a northeast breeze, quite light, about 6 miles per hour. Wind chill is at 26. Again, we had some drizzle. We had some light snow, a little bit of freezing precipitation. The salt trucks were out on some of the main trunk lines. The expressway up until, I want to say, Bridgeport area really was either just plain wet or totally dry. But as we moved through the Great Lakes Bay region, things began to get a little bit of a shine to them. And some of the roadways were slick, but salt crews have been out. For some of the areas, side roads especially, and sidewalks that aren't used a whole lot, be very, very careful. Don't be deceived because, they are a little bit on the slippery side. Southern Michigan, Detroit now is approaching 40 degrees, so things are beginning to warm up. By the time the day is all done, we're going to need a peak of sun around these parts. If we get it, we'll see 43 degrees for a high a little bit later on this afternoon. We have a high pressure system that's over the Upper Peninsula, and that's what's going to keep us on the cool side of things. And tonight, dropping down to about 28, but 28 is above average for this time of the year. As a matter of fact, 43 is right on the mark, is where we should be this time of the year. And a year ago, our high was 47 and our low was 22. So, we were a little cooler a year ago at night, but our afternoon high temperature was right up there in the mid 40s. Tomorrow, we're going to look at a whole lot more in the way of sun, because later on this afternoon and this evening, things are going to begin to clear off. We'll have partly cloudy skies with a real light north breeze. You'll be able to feel it if you're standing out there, but it's not really going to be much. Partly cloudy to mostly sunny tomorrow, 52 for a high, so about 10 degrees above average. Clouds, once again, will be moving in late, and there will be a chance overnight of some spotty light precipitation Wednesday night into Thursday. We're going to watch a low-pressure system over western Missouri. That is going to move into southern Illinois. Eventually, it'll hang around southern Indiana as we go through the day on Thursday. And then finally, everything will be moving out to the New Jersey area by Friday. So we'll have sunshine tomorrow, clouds late. Clouds will stick around, maybe a little precipitation into Thursday. Spotty precip, especially Thursday morning as we go through the day. 46 is going to be our high on Thursday. So 43 today, 52 tomorrow, and then 46 on Thursday. Then we'll begin to see a little bit more consistency with our temperatures. Friday will be the coolest day, 40 degrees, but it'll be all sunny. Clear skies Friday night, 22 for a low. Then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we'll be working our way through the 50s. And by Monday, we'll be 62, 63 degrees with partly cloudy skies. So we're not really, after Thursday, going to be looking at anything in the way of precipitation through the weekend and into the beginning of the work week. Much above average temperatures now. Once we roll into the weekend coming up, all the way through the 29th of March. Precipitation values will be average. Record high in the state is 71. That was set back in 1927, and the record low of 1 was set back in 1912. Sun will set this evening, 7:44. Rise tomorrow morning at 7:44. So equal time as far as sunrise and sunset, but the spring equinox isn't until the 20th of the month. So kind of keep that in the back of your mind. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. We'll be taking a look at the market, see what's going on with Rick Hollister from the Andersons. But before we do that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you this morning by the folks at Foster Blue Water Oil, where they want you to take your diesel to another level. You do get more power, cleaner injectors, faster cold starts, maximum lubricity, year-round protection, and up to 8% improved fuel economy with Diesel Guard Supreme Plus from Valvetech Petroleum, available at Foster Blue Water Oil. Just contact your local Foster rep or go online at fosterbluewateroil.com. We say good morning to Rick Hollister. Rick, the markets have been kind of interesting here yesterday and now this morning. What's going on right now?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Terry. Mostly lower. Wheat's turned lower, 3 or 4 cents. Soybeans, 1 to 2 lower. Even new crop corn's down 3 or 4, but the old crop corn trying to hang in there, up a couple of cents on that announcement. Finally, we've been waiting for a couple of weeks to hear the good news. We've sold China a little more old crop corn, just 1.1 million metric tons, which is a little less than was rumored 2 weeks ago. But we did finally get the announcement officially this morning, adding to our old crop sales of corn. A little disappointment on the amount, and so not enough to really help catapult us. And we've so anticipated this announcement that it kind of is buy the rumor and now sell the fact, I think, a little bit. But old crop corn trying to be up a couple, everything else turning lower, and we just end up just choppy, up a day, down a day, as we're kind of winding into the big stocks report and our planting intentions report, that all important planting intentions report at the end of this month. Market's still focused on weather in South America, although Argentina has gotten some well-needed rain and a little better amounts than expected, Terry. So they're feeling a little better about their new crop, although forecasters still knocking their crop total crop production down a little bit in Argentina. But my gosh, so much rain, and it looks like it's really focused on Mato Grosso, the state in Brazil that's had the most rain. Last 45 days, they've recorded in Mato Grosso 32 inches of rain on top of their soybeans that they've been trying to harvest. So we talk about poor quality soybeans and what that's done to them, and damp fields. They can't make harvest progress, and they're quite far behind normal. And it's really going to look like delay their second corn crop that they would plant behind the beans too is going to be quite late. Even with the highest prices they've seen for corn in Brazil, looks like we're going to be a little late. So still got an eye on that South American weather, and they're still behind on their bean harvest.
Well, again, and that's pretty important, that second crop for those folks, and especially it being corn. That is going to be really interesting right now. So what have we got on the board?
Right now, old crop corn at Hemlock is $5.26. The new crop corn at $4.25. Old crop soybeans for March at $13.92. New crop at Hemlock at $11.96. Old crop red wheat $6.10. New crop at $5.85. Old crop white wheat at $6.22, and the new crop at $5.95.
All righty. You have yourself a great day, Rick. Thank you.
Yeah, you too, Terry. Have a great day.
I will. A little bit more on those markets. Over to Oppenheimer with Doug Klein we go. The market report brought to you by Michigan's John Deere dealership. That's Bader & Sons Company. Remember, if you're a farmer, construction, or landscape company and you're working in tight spaces, take a look at the line of John Deere compact construction equipment. Now, that includes skid steers, track and wheel loaders, and compact excavators. If you'd like a demo, all you got to do is stop by the Linwood store in beautiful downtown Crump, or you can visit greentractors.com to try out tough compact equipment that's designed for small spaces. Market report also brought to you by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese. They're the makers of Exceller Meal since 1991. High bypass soybean meal that maximizes your dairy herd's production. For more information, you can contact your nutritionist or local feed dealer today and ask them about Exceller Meal. Remember, Quality Roasting of Reese offers competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans, so call them for a quote today. Morning, Doug.
Good morning.
Here we go again, right?
Well, the big traders are pulling back on crude oil a little bit, 1.5%, about 91 cents a barrel. I'm sure they're just getting compressed down so they can, make a charge towards the top again. So I have to keep an eye on those guys. The Fed is meeting today and tomorrow. Their interest rates are going to stay the same, according to everybody that is anybody, I'm sure. So they're going to support the markets as we know it. So we'll see what happens. But that would be tomorrow, I believe, at 2 o'clock that they make their announcement. Going to be no surprises there, though. So here's your numbers. The May corn is $5.51, up 1.5 cents. The December corn, $4.74 3/4, down 4 cents. May soybeans, $14.16 3/4, down 2 3/4. November soybeans, $12.39 3/4, down 4 1/4. The May wheat is $6.40 3/4, down 4 1/4. And December wheat, $6.36, down 6 cents. Crude oil, $64.30, down 90 cents. Heating oil is $192.32, down 1.8 cents. Gasoline, $209.77, that's down 0.7 of a penny. Natural gas, $256.9, that's up 4.5 cents. Canadian dollar, the U.S. dollar gets you $1.2463 Canadian at the border. That's down 5 ticks. The yen is at 109.05, down 7 ticks. The euro is at 118.85, down 43 ticks. The dollar is at 91.99, that's up 16 ticks. Gold's at $17.2750, down $1.70. Silver's $26.13, down 11 cents. Platinum's the lone green here, $12.14.40. That's up $4.90.
All righty. Take care, Doug. Have a good one, okay? Doug Klein at Oppenheimer.
Hi, I'm Steve Cook from the Cook GM Superstore Ambassador, and I've got good news, better news, and the best news. The good news is that despite record low inventories across the country, we still have Equinoxes, Blazers, and Traverses in stock. Better news is that we've got lots of Equinox, Blazers, and Traverses arriving all month. And the best news is that we've got great offers on everything. Check these out. You can keep your cash, that's right, 0 down, and lease a Traverse starting as low as $272 a month. Keep your cash and lease a Blazer for just $226. Would you believe Equinoxes with 0 down are now only $198 a month? So don't hesitate. Get out today while you still have a choice. That's Cook Chevrolet Buick, M15 Top of the Hill Ambassador.
Payments based on 36-month GM employee and family lease, 10,000 miles per year, and includes all rebates. $644 on Equinox, $749 on Blazer, $845 on Traverse due at signing. Call toll-free or visit us online at cookchevybuick.com. Chevy, find new roads.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Kryzak's House Family Restaurant. If you've got an event coming up here in the not-too-distant future, maybe it might be a good idea to have them prepare the food for you because you're going to love it. They're going to love it. You will be a hero at your event. Kryzak's House Family Restaurant. Give them a call and reserve your food today. 989-894-5531. And, of course, don't forget, Easter Sunday just around the corner.
Like digging in the dirt and getting great deals? You won't want to miss Customer Appreciation Week going on this week at Ellen's Equipment, your official Bobcat dealer. Join us now through Saturday, March 20th to experience the power and precision of Bobcat equipment and enjoy free coffee and donuts, fun giveaways, and great deals on the latest Bobcat parts and machines. It's going on now at Ellen's Equipment through Saturday the 20th. Visit ellensequipment.com or check us out on Facebook for more information on the fun and specials happening all week.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your car insurance with Right Track, which rewards you for safe driving.
As the world's most careful driver, that's perfect. Now apply 2 pounds of force for acceleration. You really turning in 0.3 miles and begin a deceleration.
With Liberty Mutual's Right Track, you could earn up to 30% savings based on how you drive. Sign up at libertymutual.com/righttrack.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Discount on participating vehicles, base coverages only. Availability varies.
Your nose is the body's air filter, the first line of defense against airborne allergens, bacteria, and viruses. You wash your hands to protect your health. Now you can clean your nose with Navage. Online at Navage.com. Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Along with me, Chuck Lipstrew with the Michigan Agribusiness Association. Chuck, I think you better give us a little reminder when it comes to getting those credits. We're going to get busy here pretty quick, and we're not going to have time to check that out, are we?
Well, I have a feeling people are already getting busy. There's probably a lot of busy people listening right now, Terry, thinking I don't have time for more stuff. But I do want to take the opportunity to remind everybody that RUP credits and exams for those who need them a good thing to get done sooner than later. So as everybody remembers, the Michigan Department of Agriculture has extended expired RUP applicator permits until June 30th. If you had a credential that expired December 31st, 2020, and you didn't get enough credits last year because of the pandemic, you've got until June 30th to get those. And, you know, I would just say, because this is new territory for everybody with these extensions, if you're listening and you're still a few credits short, I would strongly recommend you get those done before June 29th at 11:59 p.m. And I will say one other thing, Terry, which is that the commodity groups around the state, Michigan State University, our association, all have online opportunities to get those RUP credits. We still have credits online from our winter conference in January. You can visit myagbiz.org to see those. The other thing I'll put in a plug for is Michigan State University is again hosting its Field Crops Virtual Breakfast Series from April through September, and you can head to the CANR website, canr.msu.edu. This is a great program that provides an hour or even just half an hour of RUP credit information weekly throughout basically the rest of the growing season. So if you need a few of those credits, good opportunity to log in and get those. So I just want people to know there's opportunities out there, Terry, but you don't want to wait and find yourself 8 credits short on June the 29th, because you'll be out of luck.
Good advice. Chuck, thank you very much. You take care. Have a great day, okay?
Thank you, sir.
You betcha. Speaking of uncharted territory, let's slide over to Yo and Yo Accounting, where Eric Sawatsky is joining me right now. This American Rescue Plan just continues to make turns left and right, and we got to keep tabs on this thing, Eric.
Yeah, Terry, as things kind of roll out, I wanted to highlight a few things we've learned. There are 3 main things that are going to impact a lot of taxpayers, and some of them or one of them is retroactive to the 2020 tax return. So I briefly mentioned this last week, but unemployment insurance benefits. So if anyone took unemployment last year, we know that now, according to the bill, up to $10,200 of those benefits is not taxable for the 2020 tax year. However, now we found out there is an income limit on that. And if you're married filing joint, if you made over $150,000, Or if you're single and made more than $75,000, that doesn't apply, and the full amount of benefits is taxable. So it's something to take a look at while you're filing your 2020 tax. If you've already filed your return and this applies to you, the IRS is saying, please don't go and amend your tax return. We're waiting for further guidance from the IRS. They have to work that out. And we're also not filing any tax returns that aren't going to have to pay this, the tax on that, because our software has not even been updated yet to be able to deal with that. So that's one item we had more clarification on. Another was the stimulus checks, and hearing that some people are actually going to be receiving those payments as early as tomorrow, especially if you're set up for a direct deposit with the IRS. $1,400 per taxpayer plus dependents, including some of the college-age children as well. These payments will be based on the last filed tax return. So if you haven't filed 2020 yet, it'll be based on your income from 2019. And it's, again, based on your adjusted gross income. The window is a lot smaller where this gets phased out this time, though. The magic numbers, again, are $75,000 for a single taxpayer and $150,000 for a married. But this time, the window above that amount is very small. If you're married and you have over $160,000 of adjusted gross income, you won't get any stimulus check. So the cutoff is really tight. And so what we're recommending is, if you haven't filed 2020 yet, take a look at your income. And if you're going to be over that 150 or 160 mark, and last year you weren't, don't file yet. Get your stimulus payments, because it's strictly going to be based on 2019. So lots of things rolling out. There's also a child tax credit that some may be available or eligible for. That's also based on income limits, and just a lot to look at and a lot to plan for.
Boy, it sure sounds that way. Eric, thank you very much for sharing. We really appreciate it. You take care.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Let's take a quick look and see what's going on in New York right now. Steve Anderson with Baird & Company joining me. Steve, what's going on right now?
Well, markets are mixed. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down by 112, putting it at 32,842 on volume of 362 million shares. The NASDAQ is ahead by 126, putting it at 13,586. Volume there is 484 million shares locally. We have Dow Chemical 6287 down 3, DuPont 7670 down a penny. Corteva is 4631 down 52, and GM is 5754. That one's down 40.
Steve, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. You take care. Have a great day, okay?
I will. You do the same.
All righty. Steve Anderson over at Baird. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we join radio stations all across the country by playing our national anthem.